record this one as well. Okay, so it's all recording. So guys, make sure you've got your best back, your best smile on, keep your best pose on, because now it's going to start. It's going live, it's going all over the world. People are going to see this in 75 different countries. So let's make sure we keep our videos live so you can show your lovely pearly whites, so they can see your beautiful smiles. Okay, so we're going to start off with today with the recap from previous weeks. We should be having some of the previous panel members joining us. I know Sophia's online with us as well already, 008. We're going to be talking a little bit about COVID. Obviously, we believe that's a big, massive con, but I'm going to unmute you, Sophia. Big, massive con, but you know what? We're here where we are. It is what it is. They've got a lot of people confused. We're going to talk a little bit about viruses. We'll talk a little bit about the mask, whether to mask or not to mask. I know a lot of people are still kind of indecisive or undecided about whether they should mask. We'll talk a little bit about the blood. Hopefully we'll get Mark on, or Bimbo regarding Joblin. And let's kick off real quick with the radionics. So Dr. Richard came on and he shared some really powerful information, but this is in relation to testing. We were of the opinion that people should not test. This is our opinion, that people go for the test for so many reasons, but just to kind of give you a quick précis of the reasons. Number one, you cannot test for viruses anyway. The last test that they had for viruses was HIV, and that was flawed, fundamentally flawed. That is, the test equipment that they used was not able, I actually said it on the test kit, that it's not able to detect the presence or not of HIV. So that now you don't hear about any HIV testing anymore. That's the only virus testing that they've ever had. The herpes virus that they had when people used to test for herpes, you had to actually have a cold sore or some kind of outward manifestation of herpes before they could actually test. If you weren't showing any symptoms, there was no way they could test you for herpes. That's another virus. So historically, there's never been any kind of conclusive test for viruses. Let's all of a sudden come up with a manufactured test kit that can test conclusively and say, yep, you're positive. That I don't believe, not for 1 second. Also, there was a case of one of the presidents from, I think, one of the 10 countries in Tanzania. I'm sure you heard about that one, Sophia, where he decided, you know, Africans are they're very much into, don't just tell me, show me. So he sent, I think, a goat, the DNA, because they were testing your DNA. So he sent a goat, he sent a lamb or a sheep, and he sent the DNA of a goat, the DNA of a sheep, and the DNA of a fruit, right? Thank you very much for being a fruit, which was the pawpaw fruit. He sent those in the DNA, he gave them names and ages, etc. And he sent it off to them for the testing, and they all came back positive. So how on earth a goat could be tested positive for whatever you call it, for convirus or convid, a goat, a lamb, and a pawpaw fruit could test positive? Only God knows, or the who knows. So clearly this testing is not about, or papaya fruit, I think it's a pawpaw fruit or papaya fruit. Clearly this testing is not about trying to identify if people have this condition or not. They have another agenda. I alluded to that agenda in one of his talks, I think in week 3, where he talked about the databasing of our DNA. And what was really alarming for me was when he mentioned radionics. Did you hear that one, Sophie, when he was talking about the radionics? Sophia?
Yes, I did.
Have you researched radionics? Have you looked at radionics and what it does?
I have, but not on the evil side of things. I'm aware of different practitioners that use the technology for sending healing or opposing frequencies to particular parasites and stuff like that will get them out of the body. So I hadn't made that leap with it, although I'm not surprised by anything, but I hadn't made that leap with them just needing a strand or a DNA in order to be able to send out things to us individually.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes, absolutely. So you're aware of the healing, and to be fair, for the best part, that's what it should be used for.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're able to do long distance healing through the radionics, you can send frequencies into the body, which will change the molecular structure of the cells. It can get rid of parasites. It can improve your blood condition. It can provide healing. But the fact that you're able to do it, since all you need is I think DNA of the person, a strand of hair, or even a picture. It's almost like modern day juju medicine, scientific, biochemical, or metaphysics, juju medicine being used in modern society or modern medicine, where they can just have your picture and they can direct frequencies into that picture. They can even do your house. They can get your house from Google Maps They can separate the house on the left and the house on the right, and they can send balancing frequencies into your house via the picture from Google Maps. Now, in the hands of the right person, that's going to be a very beneficial tool to have for, you know, a very well-thinking practitioner who wants to help people internationally. You can use the equipment for that. However, in the hands of somebody who has maybe slightly more macabre motives, they can use that to do a lot of harm, because they have your DNA. Once they have your DNA, they can do whatever they want with it. They can do whatever they want with you. And guess what? You will have no knowledge. You just find yourself getting sicker and sicker, and you've been wondering, getting sick. Why does stuff happen to me? And, you have no form of redress either. Because I always used to wonder, when they had that 123andMe, I think you can find out your ancestors, and you used to send your DNA to get yourself tested. I used to think, oh, that sounds quite interesting. But I was thinking, they give you that lovely information. I've got a bit of Scottish in me. I've got a bit of Irish, Tanzanian or whatever. But what are you going to do with my DNA after all that? So I get excited that, yes, I've got this in me, but even I can't do anything with it. But the fact remains that they want to have my DNA on a database that I can do nothing about. And that was a big worry for me. So I didn't go with it. I didn't do it. So anyway, he was saying that they can use your data. Once they've got your data, they'll use your DNA to target you with diseases and illness, basically. So we just thought testing was something that was a very questionable activity, and we were encouraging people not to test. Not just for that reason, but just for so many other reasons. But that was one of the main ones. What say you, Soph?
Well, if the test, which is already been proven, as you were talking about, to not be, it's not designed to be able to identify that a virus, or to diagnose anything, or to make the diagnosis, then why would we be doing it? Because then it doesn't prove anything. So that's my thing. If it doesn't prove it, and on a very simple level, them saying their results are, I think, less than 70% accurate, somewhere there. It seems like a pointless activity, especially if they may have other intentions behind it. So yeah, I say no to the testing, absolutely. Because what would be the benefit? I suppose that's the question. If you're going to do anything, what's the benefit? What are you going to gain from it? What you need to do is what you need to do anyway.
Absolutely.
Shall we start doing it right now?
Start doing it right now. And that's what we're encouraging people to do, to start doing it right now. And you know, I'm just really of the opinion that this whole problem, reaction, solution approach is a great tool that they've been using to get people where they want them, to be totally scared, to basically comply with whatever agenda they may present to them as the only way out. And trying to push this whole vaccine agenda, it's been quite interesting with close interest to see how far they've gone. And I have to take my hat off to them, because I think they've done a fantastic job. I think they've had a great marketing campaign that they've used, and they've executed and delivered it almost to perfection. They've got everyone, taking in or feeding on the number of deaths every day. As you said, thank God for COVID-19, because it got rid of cancer. It got rid of blood pressure. It got rid of cardiovascular. It got rid of diabetes. It got rid of all those other diseases. So nobody's been dying from those diseases anymore. So COVID's done a great job in getting rid of all those other ailments. But I was really, I'm not even lying. I'm going to play hats off. I was really impressed with their marketing tool, the marketing machinery that they used, because they got everyone really scared regarding the deaths every day. And then they got to your emotions by, really targeting the NHS and saying, let's support the NHS. So make you really feel that you're doing the right thing by staying in your house in order to support the NHS, which I thought was it's very good marketing. They really got everybody behind this campaign and actually believing that it was real. Now, the one question for me was that if they cared about your health so much, why then would they not give you some, powerful tools to help to improve your health, other than just washing your hands? Surely you can tell people, if you really, guys, people are dying every day. There's the death numbers have reached 500 today or 3,000 today all over the world. Keep washing your hands. If they really cared about it, they want to slow down the numbers of death, they'll say, look, in order to protect yourself while you're staying in your house, top up on your vitamins, top up on your minerals, top up on your fresh fruit and vegetables, top up on the that are going to boost your body and your body's natural defense mechanisms that you're born with. Why are they not telling you that? But instead of saying, no, stay in your house, wash your hands, support the NHS, clap for the NHS, give them a big clap. I think they had a fantastic marketing campaign. It was a job very well done, and for the best part, most people believed it. Most people followed it.
You're saying believed still in past tense, but you know, if you're out, if depending on where you are, you notice that the machine is still running very effectively for a lot of people. So kudos to everybody on the call that's being wise enough to seek out answers, because the trouble is when people don't ask anything, anything goes.
Anything goes. They believe anything. Absolutely. So thank you guys for taking the time to come and empower yourself with some.
Can everybody hear? There's a comment that somebody can't hear. Can everyone hear? There's a few people with thumbs up. Okay.
Can everybody hear?
It seems like most people can hear.
This is great. Thank you. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, so let's really keep an open mind. Let's mute everybody again just to make sure we keep some silence. Right, let me go back to mute everybody. Right, participants. You all. Okay, great. So, yes, that's just that overview on where we are at, where we stand with regards to the situation, where we don't really believe that it is what it is. However, what I do believe is that a lot of people are having headaches, a lot of people are having other issues with stomach problems, skin issues were on the rise, anything linked to bacteria was greatly increasing, people getting a lot of urinary tract infections, people having stomach upsets, having a lot of chest pains. And what Dr. Richard highlighted or alluded to was that we were all being cooked, we were all being slowly cooked, microwaved, and our bodies were being heated up. And while we're being heated up, the effects on the body was affecting things like arrhythmia. We're getting increased heart rates. We're starting to get headaches because our water levels in the body were going down. The oxygen levels in the body's ability to take up oxygen was also being greatly reduced. So this was heavily affecting our ability to breathe on our respiratory system, not because of the purely system, but because of the lack of oxygen in our blood, because it was being denied because of what was coming in. Now, I've been observing these symptoms, and when the virus, so-called virus, was at its peak, these symptoms were also at their peak. And this is my personal opinion where I think this situation is coming from. I personally think that whatever they've been beaming, these frequencies, they've been beaming them in from satellites, and they can turn it on at any time. They turn it on, and they had everybody, being affected by this microwave oven effect, and they're also doubling up with the, the spraying of chemicals in the air. Then your 5G was another amplifier. These things are all helping things to get deeper into your blood, into your cells. I don't believe that 5G was the main factor, because we've been exposed to 4G and 3G for many years, and we've been able to withstand it. 5G, I think, it's just, it's just it's fifth generation, it's another set of gigahertz that the body will adapt to. It's going to go to 7G and 10G. So that, I don't think that was the main issue. That was just one of the amplifiers. Then you got the lampposts. But what I truly believe is that the energy, the frequencies were coming in from satellites, and it was cooking the whole planet pretty much. Obviously, depending on where you are, it's going to depend on what level of impact it has on your body. But I believe, obviously, people in Africa, the cases were a lot lower because obviously their food is a lot more organic. They have everything, but they eat pretty much from the markets, they eat pretty much from the ground, from the soil to the plate. And their food is not so processed, not so full of genetically modified organisms, and hasn't got as many heavy metals, and their diet is a lot cleaner. In addition to that, I just feel that, yeah, this stuff was coming in from satellites, and it was having an impact on, especially in the West, where we have a lot of that kind of food, those type of diets, a lot of mobile phones, etc. And it was really impacting our health. One of the key signs of the poll a few weeks ago, and about 85% of the people actually said yes, they were experiencing. Now I'm going to quickly do a poll on those same people, just to give evidence, because we like to do things that are evidence-based. We did a poll. Now, I want to do it so people can actually see. Those people that were, those people that said yes to the headaches before, just give me a thumbs up to see if you're still having headaches, or thumbs down if you were having headaches and you're no longer experiencing them. Thumbs down. You were having headaches, so you no longer experience them. Okay. Headaches gone down. Yeah, I can see a few people, and in the chat as well. Headaches, but you're no longer having them, Samantha. They've all gone, yeah? Okay. Very interesting. Because my headaches have also gone, they've also disappeared. So what that tells me is that whatever was coming in impacting our body, all of a sudden, guess what? It's not coming in anymore. Does that make sense? Whatever was coming in, it was impacting our body in a very adverse way, and it's causing us to have headaches. Some people having headaches, some people having joint aches, and it's just still the same summer we had then, we have now. So it wasn't just because of the heat or the weather, but whatever was coming in was affecting our water, was affecting our joints, it was affecting our bones, it was affecting our heart, it was affecting our kidneys. People having skin problems that were increasing. Again, this is because the bacteria had been multiplied in their gut. But the key indicators was headaches, then the loss of taste, loss of. These things have all disappeared. Now, I believe these things have disappeared. I'm going to bring you in a second, Mark, as well. I believe these things have disappeared because they've literally turned off the satellites, the ones that were beaming down that extra high frequency of radiation into the planet has been switched off. When they're ready to switch it on again, when they start, or Mr. Gates of Hell start to tell you, oh, the virus is going to come back again in September or October, they can literally just turn it back on again, and you'll start seeing the death rates rise and people start having all these respiratory issues all over again. But in the meantime, they've got everyone where they want them because of the market. They've got everyone standing 6 feet apart. They've got them, everyone, you know, still staying at home. They've got the economy still crashed while they're buying up all the businesses. So basically, when the curtain comes up, it's going to be a different world out there because they've got this new world order that they're bringing. They're using this.
Your phone.
Mummy, please, your phone, Mummy, your phone keeps unmuting. They're using this as a catalyst, obviously, to bring about what their long-term agenda. So just be mindful of that. So what we need to do to make sure that we're protected is that when they do switch it on, our immune system is able to withstand whatever conditions they subject us to. So whether they want to turn the radiation on, they want to use the lamppost, they want to use the 5G, our bodies are almost immunized by our own diets and our own lifestyles to enable us to survive. People, if you have any kind of level of weakness, you're the first ones to go. So people on long-term medication, blood pressure medication, diabetic medication, any kind of blood issues, you're going to be the first ones that are going to feel it because you're going to be the ones that are in the most vulnerable position. So our objective throughout these healing room sessions is to really empower you with the tools you need to empower yourself going forward. Because this thing is going to come back. But when it does come back, we want to make sure that we're ready. Some of the foods that we used to eat, we need to start cutting out those foods. The rice, heavy carbs diet, we need to start bringing down some of those foods. The cakes, all the things we used to do, we cannot afford to do them anymore. So I'm just going to leave that out there, just to put that out there, so just so people are aware. So as we go through the call today, and we'll share, we'll continue this in the group, you'll have that in the back of your mind. But the things that we want to make sure you keep at the forefront of your mind is that when the radiation does come in, the things that it uses to get into your cells are things like heavy metals, mobile phones, credit cards. Wherever you have any metals on or around your body or in or around your house, these are the things that they become conductors, even down to your mattress, your spring mattress. If you've got a spring mattress, that's a very good conductor. If you've got a metal bed, these are also very good conductors of radiation into your blood. So they're also spraying a lot of these metals and chemicals in the air. They're spraying them from the planes to make sure there's enough chemicals going into your blood to make sure that your blood can receive the radiation that's coming in, because they know the immune system is so strong, it's very capable of overcoming most of these adverse conditions and situations. So one thing I'd be definitely heavily recommend is the importance of detoxing. Detoxifying your system, make sure that you can't stop toxins going in, but you can reduce the accumulation of these toxins from building up in your blood, building up in your system, building up in your gut. So number one, we always recommend detox your system, detox your colon, do a colon cleanse every couple of weeks, because you eat it every day, you're always going to get some form of heavy metals or residue coming into your system. So it's almost like a matter of, somebody wrote a book called Detox or Die. It's really true. If you don't, the toxins are going to accumulate and these are going to become almost like weapons against your own body. So detoxification is number one, detoxing your colon, detoxing your liver, just keeping your tissues clean and free of these heavy metals and these pollutants and these chemicals. Number two, your blood, because the life is in the blood. The power of your life, it depends on the condition of your blood. Everything, every disease condition has to have a foundation in the blood in order for it to have access to your cells, because those cells go everywhere. So if you've got poison cells or contaminated cells, those contaminated cells will go to your heart, will go to your lungs, will go to your arms, your muscles, your tissues, arthritis, inflammation. It's inflammation of the cells that's now going to your joints, that's going to cause arthritis, or inflammation in your heart, which is going to cause lactic acid to build up, which causes, like when you get stiffness in your muscles, that causes heart attack. If you have stiffness in your muscles and your heart is just a muscle, just like when you have cramp, your muscles, your arms can't move, your legs can't move. When you have cramp in your heart, it's called a heart attack because the heart muscle can't move anymore. So you have a heart attack, and that's when you can die. So it's really important that we keep the blood clean and detox the blood. So in that note, I'm going to bring in Mark just to talk a little bit about the product that he has that we use very extensively, the SOS. Very powerful product, very, very powerful product for cleansing the blood. We have it again, just to remind you, everything that we speak about on our summits, we have them available for your consumption on the website, gojuicedetox.com. Just click on shop, 3 words, gojuicedetox.com. Click on shop and you can just find any product that we talk about on there. But I'm going to use the opportunity to bring in Mark because he was with us last week, talking very passionately about his product that they manufacture called SOS. Mark, I can't give you the same big introduction we gave you last week, but...
It's okay, you did it once, you got it right the first time. So thanks again. Good afternoon, everybody. Sunday blessings. Some good points you made there, Erin, especially about the radiation on our bodies. I don't know if people can remember when they had the 3G phones and someone did an experiment where they put 4 phones next to each other and they called all 4 phones and they put some popcorn in the middle. And when all 4 phones rang, the popcorn all popped. It all got made. It all got done. Now that video is going around again, and that was with the 3G phone. So it was showing the radiation that was generated from the phone when somebody calls you. Now that's 3G. So we've then moved to 4G now, and about to move to 5G. So I just mentioned that to show the presence of radiation on our bodies in our everyday life. And it's something that we've learned to live with. It's something that we don't even discuss anymore. But when it first came out, it was a problem. People realized it was a problem, but over a period of time, people have learned to live with it. Now, as Erin says, with us having that radiation on our bodies impacting us day in and day out, then it's having a negative impact. It's having a negative effect. So a very good point that you made, Erin. And also about turning the virus on and turning it off. If people can remember when the Zika virus came out, prior to it coming out, they said, oh, there's going to be a virus. It's going to affect South America and the Caribbean. And so you've got to ask yourself questions. How did they know it was going to be there prior to it being there? And then it had an impact. You know, it had an impact on pregnant women, and it had other impacts. I know people that got it myself. So we've got to be aware that they don't tell us everything. We've got to be aware. We've got to be independent thinkers, listen to people like Erin and other practitioners, read for ourselves so that we are as well protected as possible. And it's very, very important. So that's just to go over what Erin said. But yeah, last week I was able to mention our product, which is called SOS Advance, which it looks pretty much, that's the box that it comes in. And it's been developed. We've developed it, been developing it for the last 10 years, and it's been available in this format for the last 7 years. And it's a blood cleaner. And as Erin says, we're all taking on more toxins than the body can deal with. So our immune system is compromised. And if you were to see Erin and get one of his tests done, you would see the level of compromise that you have in your body because of toxins. It's unfortunate. It's in the air that we breathe. It's in the food that we eat. There's over 10,000 chemicals in the food chain. And it's difficult to avoid them because it's from the farming to the production into our bodies and also in what we drink. So we've got to be cautious and we've got to be careful. And the detox that Erin mentioned is actually key. Erin's saying every 2 weeks, every 2 or 4 weeks, depending on your diet, depending on how you eat and what your regime is. But our product, SOS Advance, it removes bacteria, viruses, toxins, and fungus from the blood. So it focuses on the blood. And the reason it does that is that blood is everywhere. It goes everywhere in the body. And if there's any way it doesn't go, or if there's any way it doesn't get to effectively, then that's where you have a problem. And unfortunately, if you've got toxins being carried around the body in the blood, and they get lodged in any of the organs or even in the blood vessels themselves, you have a problem. That's where the challenges start. So our products They're fully natural. They're made with essential oils. We don't use any chemicals in them at all. But we have been able to use a process which reduces the size of the particles. So they're what they call nano-sized particles. And for the layperson, it just means the body can absorb more of it. In fact, the body can absorb all of it. So when you drink it or take the capsules, it's absorbed very quickly. And so therefore the cells can be cleaned quickly. And the unfortunate thing is our cells tend to be too toxic. And therefore you can't get nutrients and you can't get oxygen into them. So it has an effect on the whole body. So our product's holistic. It goes everywhere. And because it's natural, it doesn't have any negative impacts on the blood or on the immune system. What is it used for? Well, again, because it's in the blood, people use it for diabetes, for blood pressure, for digestive issues, for skin complaints. It just goes everywhere. It just removes the things that are not supposed to be there. So even the heavy metals that Erin mentioned, unfortunately, you know, lots of people have got fillings in their mouth and mercury in those fillings, and that drips into the body and has an impact. And the best advice is if you can remove them and get the white enamel ones, that's a lot better for the body. So unfortunately, we are constantly under attack from these things, and it's very important. Now, our product is one, it works extremely effective. It's taken as a detox over a month, so 3 bottles over a 24 to 30 day period. If it's the liquid, you take 10 ml 2 to 3 times a day. If it's the capsules, you take 2 capsules 2 to 3 times a day. But we advise you to drink water, keep yourself hydrated. Some people run away from it, some people just don't like drinking water, but it's key for our success, it's key for our health. Drink water, and if you can do any exercise, it could be walking, it can be any limited exercise. If you are not able to do more than that, it's great. It gets the circulation going and it helps with the recovery, or it helps with the health and the well-being. So that's a recap of the product. I did discuss it last week, and Erin just quickly called and said, Mark, please, can you just come on again? So I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to talk to anybody about it, but Erin has it. He has the product available. It's on his website. It's available directly from him. We do sell in the UK. We sell in various retail outlets. Our main markets happen to be on the African continent at the moment, but also it is available here in the UK. Erin?
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mark. Brilliant. Perfectly done. Perfectly said. Just to recap before I bring in Bimbo in the house. Thank you for joining us. Just before I move on, you mentioned that you use essential oils. Now, essential oils are very, very powerful. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember another product you mentioned a few weeks ago that also consists of essential oils, goes by the name of Respirate, that we use as one of our main protectors of the lungs. So I think you're going to see these essential oils coming up over and over again as very, very powerful tools in the battle to keep our bodies healthy, because they're all based on plants. They're all made from plants. So these are all nature's natural medicines that the body recognizes and is able to use to very great effect. Now we use pure essential oils in a slightly different way to how Mark uses them in the SOS, but the end result is the same, although the application is different. The fact that they're able to get in and really tackle viruses and bacteria at source, the way that only essential oils can do. I was going to bring you in, Sophia, before you ran away. Don't run away, Sophia. I was going to bring you in there real quick, but not to worry. But yeah, so we're trying to stress on that, how important essential oils are and how we use them quite extensively in our arsenal of natural products. So while we're on the issue of blood, we're just doing a recap, Bimbo, on how important it is for us to cleanse the blood. Oh, Sophia, yes. Sophia, we're just talking about the blood, and I know you've been working with the SOS. Bringing Bimbo, just to give you a take on how important it is for us to keep the blood as a lifeline clear and clean.
Yeah, one of the things that that people are always shocked and horrified by is when they see bacteria, viruses, this kind of stuff in their blood. They're like, what? Is that in me? And I'm like, well, yeah, we're made up of all manner of trillions of different cells, and you'd think by the media right now that all of that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's always a balanced thing. So all of these different things showing up in the blood. But when they are at an imbalanced level, that's where our problems lie. So I've seen, Mark, you'd be glad to know, I had a young man that had a very personal issue with his testicles and not months and months and months, not being able to get any relief or no real answers from the doctors, and not being able to get to a conclusion with that. And it was the SOS combined actually with taking Cocoon water to get oxygen to the body. But those two in combination, in a matter of less than 2 weeks, he was out of pain and swelling completely, like almost to normal. So
that's amazing.
So wherever it needs to get to, it gets there.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's great to hear that. It's really good to hear the testimonies, and I'll probably speak to you, see if I can get some information. What we try to do is we have a testimonial page on the website. It has probably maybe 100 testimonials. We just like to put them on. We keep them totally, we don't put the names to them. It just gives people hope if they're looking for something that maybe this can help them. So thanks for that, Sophia. Really good to hear it.
Yes. So yeah, and you notice, as she said, she didn't. It wasn't just the SOS used on its own. It was used alongside other products. We want to really, always encourage people to never.
Yeah, and sorry just to add that in. It also meant Oxyflush too, because obviously when we're cleaning the blood, we want to make sure the very first things that we always say is to make sure you're getting rid of as much as, because there's no point us putting in the right things if you're not getting rid of the waste. So so it was really important that we were using Oxyflush as well to make sure that the waste is getting out, hydrating, and we will get you to hydrate not just enough to get your cells hydrated, but we want enough water passing through you to flush the system as well. So you're drinking more than you.
Something, Sophia.
Yeah.
You said that, it works. You used a combination of products and it really helped him, which is fantastic. He wanted a solution and you was able to provide him with one. Did he get any other benefits aside from having his problem relief,
Energy, not feeling tired.
Okay.
I think those were the things that were.
Okay, the reason I asked is, again, because it goes in the blood, some people see the benefit in their skin, some find it in their digestion. So they have the problem gone away, but they find other benefits as well. And as you say, with oxygen, if you can't oxygenate the cells, then you're just going to be tired all the time and you won't have any energy. So it's just useful to find out if you got any other benefits, so people realize it has a holistic impact. You might use it, normally the allopathic things, you take an aspirin and it makes a headache go away and that's all it does, but actually it's still there. It's just that, it's been suppressed. But this deals with the issues and it deals with it at the core. So you find that other aspects of the body start to work better. And that's what we need. And as you said about balance, it's very much key.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Mark, because it's so important that we stress the importance of, really using a combination of products. Because just like when you have a meal, you don't just have one element on the plate. You have a combination of different elements that all complement and support. So the same when you're cleansing the body, because you have different components. You've got the heart, you've got the lungs, you've got the blood, you've got the gut. They all need different materials to cleanse them. But once they're all cleansed and they're all working together in order, that's when you see the body start to really go into that state of accelerated healing, because all the different pathways are being impacted. And that's what we specialize in when we do our lifestyle change program. We target all the key pathways through the HERM protocol. We target your liver, we target your gut. We always start with the gut first, because that's where all the waste and all the bacteria accumulates. And that's where all the problems originate from. And it escapes from the gut into the bloodstream. And then the bloodstream starts to take on its own level of different problems, and the inflammation starts to build. Then it starts getting into the muscles, then it starts getting into the tissues, starts getting into the joints, and it starts getting into the skin. But everything starts in the gut. So we always start with the gut first by using things like you said, Oxyflush, to cleanse the colon, to really support the liver. We use the Ultra Detox to really cleanse the liver and the kidney. We use then we start getting into the blood products. We use the SOS. But then we have to bring the crown, the real coronavirus of blood. Y'all believe? Because Bimbo has brought this double in, and this has changed the whole game completely. Because when you combine, we've actually had two patients that we used the combination of SOS and Joblin on, but because Joblin is such a powerhouse, SOS is a powerhouse by itself. Oxyflush is a powerhouse by itself. Joblin is a powerhouse by itself. But when you look at what the Joblin does for things like anemia, for things like iron deficiencies, for things like neurological problems, for things like muscle and heart issues, for things like the list goes on and on. Because it's a natural food-based product, it actually looks like blood. The way that that product has been able to impact the blood. At the moment, I'm doing a mucus cleanse at the moment right now. I'm cleansing the mucus. That's why you see me again. I'm cleansing because I'm doing a detox right now. So the mucus is coming out. So I'm bringing out mucus from every orifice in my body. And sometimes when women do the female version, they say it comes out from places that you wouldn't expect it to come out from, because you need to remove the mucus from the body so that the cells can absorb a lot more effectively. But when you add the Joblin in, because the Joblin builds the blood, it builds it actually works from the source, from the bone marrow, where the body actually produces blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. And Joblin works at the bone marrow level to increase the level of healthy red blood cells and healthy white blood cells. You can, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what? In fact, Bimbo, you're the purveyor of this supernatural product.
I don't think I need to say anything anymore. You know, I probably should just pay you and have you just, you know, go ahead and do all the talks for me. Your introduction was like when you enter into MGM Grand and your boxing match, and yeah, we're going to sign a contract later on for that.
Yeah, let's get rid of some.
Anyway, thank you very much. And it's what we try to do, like I always say, is we try as much as possible to speak the English word out of everything. What we've been able to do over 15, 20 years is to put the science behind what it does. Because initially, the old, how will I say, the medieval people that used to use it called it blood medicine. Blood medicine meaning that the way they prepared it and the way it looked like blood. And once you take it, it does all the magic in the body. So, you know, the way they talk about snake oil things for herbal medicine, they will say, how do you know that product does this? How do you know that product does that? Initially, what we knew about it was that once you take it, it puts blood back in your body. And if you are very conversant with all races, if I cut you right now, be you black, Caucasian, from China, from there, you will bleed red. It is so consistent and constant. Everybody's shape, face, you know, color will be different, but your blood will be red. That's just the way it's designed. And your HB level, your PCV levels have to be at optimum for your body to work itself. God created this body with everything inside. Your liver has its functions, your kidneys have their function, your lungs have their function, but the blood carries everywhere around the body, carrying energy, that's through your red blood cells, and carrying the fighters, your white blood cells. So that's just how the body is supposed to function. But when you eat, and when you don't eat enough, due to the way we live, GMO products, we all do, soda, your body becomes a little bit imbalanced. So, but what Joblin does, that's my own take, and how I push it is it corrects the imbalance in the body. So I will leave the fact that, it's got one of the highest antioxidant ORAC level for natural products. The immune modulation properties too are very high based on the reports, based on the clinical trials, based on the scientific validations we have about it. And the anti-inflammatory products, the NK cells, it's called the natural killer cells activation. Those are thick, big, medical words. But what I say is that once it gets into your body, once it contacts blood, once the erythropoietic effect, another big English word, your body balances itself. There was one test we did. I've got a friend who's a Swedish guy, used to be the former MD of Mars Wrigley in Sweden, and is a very ardent bike rider. The problem with bicycle riding and all those people that do the French, they call it Paris Open, is once you take products that push your HB and PCV levels up, and it pushes it a little bit beyond the standard, they will say that you're doping. And what it did was he started using Jubilee for the energy effect and the recovery. And all the tests they did within all his riders was that the HB level never went beyond the standard. So within his friends, they found out that he's 55 years old. He will ride much more than them and he will never get tired. And they kept telling him, oh, are you using steroids? And he said, no, the only thing he's using is Jubilee. He uses 6 in the morning before he does his 200-kilometer cycle ride. The next day, he's ready to ride again. Because his muscles have recovered, the energy level has recovered, and his red blood cells are at optimum. So that's one clinical trial that we're going to do between now and end of the year to see what level that the red blood cells go up to and they stay at. We've been able to do that in animal studies, but it will be nice for us to do it in human studies too. And like you said initially, there's a plethora of natural products worldwide. Everything combines with everything for your body to use it optimally. You eat bread this morning, you eat rice in the afternoon, you take fruits in the afternoon. So it's the same way when we have things like you use Jubilee now, you use essential oils, you use this. So a combination of things. And the most important thing the gentleman said before, and I always agree and I always tell, is drink. I drink a lot. Yeah, you see, this is in a day I go through 9 of this. In the morning, I'll take 2 in the morning. When I do my workouts at night, before I hit the sack, I've done 9 bottles of it. So it's a standard thing. It's the only way your body will ingest things away from you. You go, for some people, for some reason, I get a lot of blowback from women, especially the fact that when you tell them they need to take lots of water, they'll tell you, oh, we're going out, we're very afraid of the kind of toilets we have to use outside, so I don't need to drink, I don't want to drink so much. That's the last thing that you should be thinking of in terms of where, what toilet, what sanitation. Just drink water. Fine, there will be somewhere that you can use the toilet, clean it, get tissues, just drink lots of water with whatever you're doing. So that's what we try and push. That's what we try and tell everybody. And it's been working. We've seen so many anecdotal results.
Yeah, Bimbo, man. Like,
that's my daughter calling, sorry.
Yeah, Bimbo, I mean, I get excited about these products because, we love, seeing people achieve levels of health they didn't expect to, that they didn't even think possible. And when we have, such tools like these at our disposal, it just allows, she's beautiful. Where is she?
She's stuck in Canterbury. She's in Canterbury University.
Canterbury in UK or Canterbury in the US?
UK.
Oh, wow.
Kent. Yeah.
What time is it where you are? Are you in Denver right now?
No, I'm in Maryland, so it's 11 o'clock now.
11 o'clock. Okay, you're 5 hours behind.
5 hours behind.
We get so excited, about having these type of products at our disposal, and when we put them together in a program, and we look at people, different issues that they come with, whether it be diabetes, whether it be high blood pressure, whether it be cerebral palsy, and we get these combinations of these products together and they converge on the blood. The results that we're able to achieve for people, every day I'm excited. I get up every day excited, more excited than the day before, thinking, oh my God, how much more testimonies are we gonna get? Like, I'm just have to share this one real quick. I saw flash up in the chat. This one came up with somebody from Brian. In fact, Brian, just somebody just real quick, and let's just tell us what you experienced, because he just used 3 products. We always encourage at least minimum of 3 products. Brian, you still there? Brian, let's just share what you experienced you said, I think the 3 products you used for the week and where you were and where you are now. Let me unmute you. Hang on, let me unmute you. 1 second. Go ahead.
I actually had the coronavirus symptoms, so I had
Brian,
I was coughing.
Brian, 1 second, Brian. Have you got your phone and your laptop on? Have you got 2 devices on at the same time?
Do you want
Yeah,
turn one of them off, please.
I don't mind. I don't know. I don't want to like.
Right, let me mute everybody out. Let me just mute everybody out. And then I'll get you to unmute yourself again. Do that again. Okay, give me a second. Mute all. Yep, done. Right, I'm unmute you now, Brian. Yeah, so when we hear these testimonials of people achieving levels of health they didn't expect possible and in such record time, it really inspires us in what we're doing. And that's why I'm excited when I talk about, Bimbo's and his product, when I talk about Mark's product. The excitement, I can't even hide it because it's overwhelming. Brian, go ahead. Brian?
Right, okay, could you hear me now?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, yeah, so I actually had the coronavirus symptoms a few weeks back, and so a lot of coughing, I was like chesty, breathing was quite heavy. Whether it was the coronavirus symptoms or whether it was just a flu, I don't know. But anyway, I found that after I got better, after I got well again, I just found that my breathing seemed to have been affected. It just seemed to be, this mucus on my chest. It just didn't seem to go away, and I was having problems, having sort of like a normal breathing pattern again, and it just seemed to drag on and on. I think I actually explained it to you briefly when I spoke to you before.
You did.
So anyway, you recommended that I take the Oxyflush and use some of the Respirate with the diffuser. So I was already using the SOS. I probably started on the SOS maybe a week prior to this. So then I got the Oxyflush, and I was using the Respirate through the diffuser on the night time while I was sleeping. And today up to it's like my lungs are actually clear now. My breathing pattern is almost back to normal. It's just been such a massive improvement taking those three remedies together. Yeah, I just feel so much better within myself, physically, mentally. Like I said, my breathing pattern for so long, it just wasn't right. When you've got like a chest infection and it affects your lungs. Well, it just seemed that this problem, it just won't go away. It just seemed like an issue that was just ongoing, even after getting over the initial symptoms of the virus. But I feel well. I feel healthy. Now I've just got to follow through with the program, healthy eating. Obviously, look at my diet. I do need to lose weight. I know that, but these are all things that I'm looking to achieve within the coming weeks, and hopefully, have a healthy, balanced immune system.
Yes.
But yeah, these products have definitely helped me over these last couple of weeks.
Fantastic. So
thank
you so much.
Like the Oxyflush, the Respirate and the SOS, and I'll probably look at ordering some of the Jobaline as well. But yeah, all good so far.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. Clap for him. Perfect.
Okay.
We gotta give people applause when they're doing the right thing. We love when people are taking their health into their own hands. You could have eaten to the doctors or gone to the hospital or gone to the GP and they'd put a load of drugs, and you'd be no better than you were when you started out. But now you've taken natural products, things that the body recognizes, and you've not just used one. You've used a combination. You've cleaned your gut with the oxygen. You've cleaned out your colon. You boost up. You know why the Oxyflush is so important to use? To get people who have a cough or a flu, and they have a really bad cough for weeks. And they say, they ask me, they call me and say, what should I use? I say, they've been on the program, they've cleansed their body already, but they've got a bit of a cough. I say, okay, use Oxyflush. And they think, hang on a minute, I'm on a cold and a flu. Why would you say use Oxyflush? I say, just take Oxyflush. They take Oxyflush and they'll do it for like 3 days. and I'll call them back, or they'll call me back, I say, call back after 3 days. They'll call back after 3 days, and I'll always ask them, how do you feel now? They say, a lot better. And I say, how much percentage better? They always say, what percentage do you think they say? They always say they're about 70% better. Yeah. Now, do you feel more than 70% better, Brian?
I could say that at this moment in time, I feel 95% better. Because
and how long have you used?
Like I said, I had this impediment on my chest, and it just feels like it's almost gone. So I would say that 90%, 95%.
And how many days? How many days have you used the products? How many days have you been using the products?
Sorry, say that again.
How many days have you been using the products? In what period of time?
I've been since the SOS. Like I said, I started using the SOS about 2 weeks ago, but the Oxyflush and the Respirate, they got delivered on Monday. Monday just gone, so maybe a week I've been using the Oxyflush and the Respirate. So all in all 2 weeks. But
the last 7 days when you had the two products, you had the three of them combined together, yeah?
Yeah, the last three, yeah, that I think the Oxyflush and the Respirate, I think they were the kickers that just sort of like, you know,
kicked you over the edge.
Yeah, because my lungs now are so clear. Like as before, you know, I was waking up, I was wheezing, I could literally hear my chest wheezing. Now that's gone completely, and yeah, I just feel like I'm back to my normal self again now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you. And you know, I'm gonna give you another clap again because I just love stories. Forget about clap for the NHS. Let's clap for Brian. Real life testimonies is real life stories. So you know. Mark, if Mark's listening, Mark will testify. When I went to meet him to get the SOS, I don't know, he will tell you, I knew I wasn't right because it's like, as he was giving me the products in my hand, it's like I almost like fainted, like almost collapsed. That's how weak I felt. So I knew that my body something wasn't right, you know? So, yeah, but excellent.
You know, thankfully, I'm okay.
You'll be for a very long time. Just keep really boosting your body out, and you'll be on the right track, and you'll stay there. Now, the reason I wanted to highlight that is because we said when I asked the people after the 3 days, how did they feel? They always said that I always asked them what percentage better did they feel, and they always said at least 70%. Yeah. And there's a reason why they felt 70%. There's a reason why you feel 95% better after you use the combination of the products for the week. The reason why they felt 70% better and you feel 95% better is because, did you know, when you use the Oxyflush to cleanse your gut or cleanse your colon, do you know where 70% of your immune system is based?
In your gut.
In your gut.
Yeah.
70% of your immune system is based in the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah? So when you clear the gut, you clear the colon of all the waste and all the waste materials and toxins that have accumulated there, you free up a lot of those immune cells to go around and address other areas or issues within the body. That's why it's always so important to start with cleansing the gut and the colon first. Because once you cleanse the gut and colon, then you've got the pathways for elimination are now open. If you haven't got those pathways open, the toxins could be broken down in your body, but they'll still remain in your blood. So then when you use the blood cleansers now, that enables you to now cleanse out the impurities in your blood through your kidney. That's why what Bimbo was saying, it's so important to keep the hydration, the water levels really high. So all our products all come with a high level recommendation to take them with them 500 mils of water per product, per dose. And that's one of the reasons why we get so much good results. So thank you so much for sharing that, Brian, but it's really important that, you know, people recognize the importance of using more than one product, because the more products you have going into your body, the quicker your body will come back into health, into healing, as opposed to using the one. So one thing I want to add in, and you know, Dr. Mark, we had a long chat after the call 2 weeks ago. We were talking about products, was vitamin D3. Now we always agree to disagree, or we disagree respectfully. And I'm going to concede on this one. he said that, no, Eric. I said, look, I don't want people going off on a tangent of going to think, yes, if I take vitamin D3 on its own, you know, I'll be able to solve my problem. And he said he would rather them go off on that tangent, because at least if they've got the D3 in, it's going to enable them to address so many other areas that they're deficient in, because a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D3. So I'm going to continue on that discussion, and I'm going to say, yep, hands up. We do need to definitely, incorporate vitamin D3, even if you do it on its own, because it is that powerful, it is that impactful in terms of dealing with your health. I see you here. Come in, I know you want to add something there. Chip me your 2 pence. Come and beat me some more then, go on then. Right, oh, you're muted now.
No, you didn't need any more beating up. That was that. We've all come to the same conclusion in the end, right?
Yes,
Power to the D3.
Power to the
D3. Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Mark recommended a book. It's not an easy read, but it's a good one to read. And it's because there are so many things we don't understand about D3. We think it's a vitamin. It's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And the hormone interacts with every single system of the body. From, we think of D3 and skin. We don't think of D3 and the brain. We don't think of the different aspects. So, as we don't have access to enough, it means that, but right now I get my dosages in. And one of the things to say is sometimes people think that you need so much time in the sun. The darker you are, you need more time to absorb that vitamin D or that D3, but you will absorb thousands of times more. You by being in the sun, we absorb thousands of units of vitamin D3 within minutes. So a little is better than nothing. Versus even when we're supplementing, even when we're eating the right things, we're not going to get anywhere near the amount of dosages in terms of units than if we just stood in the sun for a few minutes with our arms and legs out and, getting as much whole body skin access to the sun. We will get so much more. So it's much a better idea to have 2 minutes than to think I'm just not going to do anything at all.
Absolutely. So it's important that you get your D3 and get it in from as many sources as you can. Get it in naturally from the sun. But if you can't, make sure you definitely supplement, because it does have an impact on your hormones. It does have an impact on your cells. It does have an impact on your immune system. It has got far-reaching capabilities in terms of improving your health in the body. So yes, we definitely will concede on that one, that we definitely need to make sure we incorporate more vitamin D. So I've spoken to one of my suppliers, because I've been hearing a lot that a lot of vitamins are drying up in supply. You can't get a lot of vitamins in the shops anymore, and I think that's purposely done. Make sure that is that true? Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely the truth. People are struggling to get access to the right things, and just trying to get things online. They're having to wait so much longer in terms of getting access to things. So yeah.
If you go, I went.
Bimbo, sorry, 1 second. I muted everybody because somebody was still talking. I'm going to unmute you again. Oh, sorry. Oops. Go ahead, Bimbo. I think I'm going to unmute you again. Yeah, go ahead. You keep unmuting yourself.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So I said in the past 2 weeks, I've been to specialty stores in the US here. The main ones are Whole Food, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, and Farmers Market. These are places where you'll be able to buy natural organic foods. And for some reason, if you go to the aisle where you've got vitamins and immune support products, they're all gone. It is almost incredible. They're having to expedite those companies that supply immune support products to ramp up and sell as much as possible. Even vitamin D3, which is what we're talking about, has spiraled in demand, and it goes to that other part too, where somebody like Trump comes on TVs and talks about chloroquine.
Yes.
So it's all about marketing, and for some reason, 2 days ago, I got involved with somebody talking about what the president of Madagascar was trying to tout concerning that magic herbal product that comes from the country. And the main crux of his news to the world was that they've got this thing that the magical herbs that they put together in Madagascar that cures, that does this, that does that. And I told somebody that if you need to look deep down to what he's saying. All he's trying to do is promote a product called Artemita. Artemita is that new product that was actually introduced into Africa, say about 5-6 years ago, to combat malaria. Everybody knows from time immemorial that chloroquine has been the champion for malaria for donkey years. We all grew up taking chloroquine. And if you look at chloroquine as a product, it's only in Africa that it makes its money. That's where it is sold. All of a sudden, there's a company that came in from China and now produced Artemita, and they tried to sell or trying to like champion Artemita as the next malaria product. But it's really, really having to battle chloroquine. Right now, for some reason, somehow, some way, the president of the US talks about chloroquine. Why? Are we talking about malaria? Not really. But everybody's, don't let me digress and take it to that big pharma kind of fight, because this is about Africa and them trying to like cure malaria. Why are you talking about chloroquine? We're talking about a virus that came in from somewhere. And you'll find out some people are saying the immune system will naturally take care of this thing. So why not just, increase your immune system, immune support level? Because the body naturally takes care of itself by itself. So you'll get some people on one hand talking about, chloroquine, Artemita, then you'll get some of us who know what the real thing is all about, talking about your body as a whole, your immune system. So as much as possible, we even did not some studies. There's a lady that's part of us here that actually introduced Jubilee to Nigeria, where I'm from, to help those people that are within the confines. And they've been able to do tests, and they've been coming out negative. But I'm not about to like start touting that, that saying that, use Jubilee for COVID. And it will, no, that's me missing the point entirely. My whole energy is to tell people, just support your immune system. We've been selling this for over 22, 23 years. So it's your immune support that I'm all about. Be it coronavirus, be it the common flu, be it that virus, be it this, just support your immune system. Then your body kicks in to do what it's supposed to do by itself. Period.
Absolutely. The body is the best healer. It knows more about itself than any doctor, any medicine, any drug.
Exactly.
You're right. With the Artemisia, it's a shrub. It's the wormwood. It's the wormwood that it normally deals with the malaria parasite, and that's why it's been so powerful at dealing with malaria. And it's because it's a natural herb that grows quite wild in a lot of places. Who try to classify it as a drug, they try to ban it and say it's actually a drug, when it's actually a herb and it's just a shrub. And then they added neem to it and a couple other herbs, and that's when you combine those, again, a combination of different herbs put into the blood, and the body responded very positively. So no disease, virus was able to survive.
Exactly.
Got rid of all the key components, the parasites, bacteria, and the viruses. So again, these things are evidence that these people they're not concerned with your health, because if you've got something that's going to be, it's not going to be, it has been proven to be healing people and curing people of this so-called COVID. But they were like up and down, like, no, we don't want you to use any natural herbs. No, it's all going wrong. Why? They want you to say vaccination. That's the only cure.
2 days ago, the FDA in the US came out and used the word for remdesivir, because what they're trying to do is now bring back remdesivir, which was used for HIV, and now said, remdesivir will or might help people with corona. I've never heard the FDA use those words for a pharmaceutical. It is only us in the natural ceutical world that they said, you must not say this, You must not claim this. For them to step down to our level and now say, oh, remdesivir might reduce the coronavirus issue. Now, it was really it was thought-provoking, but you know what? Eventually, at some point in time, we will all merge. All medicines come from natural products.
Absolutely, and it's going to go back there. It's going back.
Yeah.
It has to go back there. This is natural health's finest hour right now, because the world is not going to get the answers from conventional medicine. They have to come back to natural. So talking about natural vitamin D, we're going to make sure we have our natural vitamin D. We used to get it and we used to use it, but because we had so many other products that contained it, we stopped using it. But now we've gone back to our natural vitamin D supplier, and we've ordered a huge stock of vitamin D3 in, so it'll be available on the website from tomorrow or Tuesday. You'll be able to get the D3. It's high quality D3. It comes in the oil. It's in oil form because it's one of the oil soluble vitamins, and that'll be available from tomorrow. So we're going to take Dr. Mark's advice on that and make sure it's readily available. So we'll have D3 from tomorrow that you can use. It's a natural form, and it's a very high grade, high quality. So thanks very much for that, Bimbo. It's very important that people do get access to the right products to really keep their blood clean. You've got the SOS, you've got Joblin. Joblin, like I say, it's just amazing at dealing with anemia, dealing with any problems of issues of iron or iron deficiencies. You can also get them from gojuicedetox.com. When you click on the website / click on shop, and it will be, there you go, Josh, there you go. Samantha's holding up her Joblin, you got yours there now. Yeah, it's an amazing product. It's an amazing product. I got mine here too. I got my Joblin, and you ain't got none. So Joblin's always there. It's always outside. Make sure you all have a bottle of Respirate, because when they turn the switch back on, the lungs will become very vulnerable very quickly. You just do yourself just feeling the tightness in your chest all of a sudden, and we just put a few drops in our hand, the Respirate, put a few drops in your hand, and just inhale it, and it'll clear your lungs. It'll clear all the mucus. This is amazing. It'll clear all the mucus. Oh, I love it. And just rub some on your chest as well, so you can be inhaling it constantly. If you have any hay fever or any kind of asthma, put it in a diffuser, let it run overnight, and it just clears all the. I wish I was a doctor. You are a doctor. You are a doctor. Doctors are teachers. They're not drugs.
A lot of people ask me the questions when I start talking about clinical trials, scientific validation. They keep saying, "Oh, doctor." I said, "No, I'm not a doctor.
Yes, you are.
I'm just a chemical engineer by profession, and it's been doing this for over like 23 years. We do so much connections with. I've interacted with so many pharmaceutical people in University of Ife, in University of London, in the US. So when you talk their terminologies, because you have to read so many reports.
Yes.
You now start using the terminology. And oh, doctor. No, I'm not doctor. I'm just.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Let's own it. Own it, Dr. Bimbo. Own it. Own it. Oh, you are. Doctors are teachers. They have the real meaning of doctor, teachers, pharmaceutical. But what we're going to do, we're running a bit behind. We're going to get into the second section. Let's do the questions. I know Adam's got a lot of questions. We'll have to get through the questions. In fact, let me see. No, we've already got two. What we'll do?
Can you send a link, please, of the websites that you recommended? So sorry to cut you off because I didn't catch it.
No problem at all.
If you can send it, so at least we can all just click it and then.
Yeah.
You know.
Nadia, if you can oblige, just type in the website. I don't know if you can take the links from the chat, Duchess, but we can always try. But it's 3 words: go, G-O, juice, J-U-I-C-E, detox, gojuicedetox.com, and then you click on shop, and that takes you to the shop, or you can go to vivonutrients.com. So straight there, you'll be able to get access to all the products that we mentioned today. You can get the SOS, you can get the Joblin there, get the Respirate, the Oxyflush, and we do a lot of different combos where we have them as like where they all combine together. It works out a little bit cheaper if you get them as a combo, because we do recommend people take them as combinations as opposed to individual. Okay, and now we've got a lot of Joblin now because we had a little bit issues with the supplies, but now we've got about 20 or 30 cases on the ground. So we've got loads in stock. So make sure you get your orders in. They are here. They do go very quickly. So, you know, get on the site, get your Joblin, get it to your mums, get it to your dads, get it to your elderly members of the family, get it to your children. You can just open the capsules and just put it in their juice or their favorite drink, and let's let them get it into their system, because I've seen children with some remarkable results. Wumi, real quickly, Wumi, are you on the line? You always on the. Wumi, Umi, can you hear me? Umi, can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody out again. I remember I gave it to her grandson. I had to pop the capsules and actually put it in the water, and it did really turn to blood. It was amazing. Just looking at the capsules in the blood, it was just so fascinating. Okay, we've got a lot of questions. I can see a lot of questions in the chat, but what we'll do now, I'm going to quickly do the wealth element today. A lot of people want to find out how they can, increase their income and, help to get a little bit more financial stability during this period of uncertainty. I know a lot of people are on furlough at the moment as well. So while you're on furlough, I believe that when you're on furlough, it means that you're let me mute everybody out again. When you're on furlough, I believe that it means that you're mute everybody out. I believe you're on 20% when you're on furlough, I think you're on 20% less of your normal salary. But I'm not going to lie, I'm going to mute myself now. Right, so. Yeah, so when you're on furlough, I think you're on 20% of less than your normal salary, and I think if every month it goes down a few percentage. But anyway, a lot of people have been asking us, what we can do to shore up our finances. Now, we've been involved in a system since back in September that's been really helping a lot of people who weren't having financial difficulty back then, but it's enabled them to get through this period, and they've actually earned more money from having a passive income stream than they have from their linear income, working, giving their hours to their boss or their employer. And the reason why we do this is because we have so many people come to us with different levels of stress. And one of the biggest levels of stress that people have, or the biggest reasons, is that they're working every hour God sends. And when they're working all these hours, it gives them very minimal time to actually, enjoy their life or enjoy the time, or indeed spend some time taking care of themselves and, more importantly, their health. So we found it natural for us to try and put something together that can help to alleviate some of that stress. Hence, we came up with the health meets wealth. So if you have health, if you have wealth, but you haven't got the health to enjoy it, then it's kind of counterproductive. You need one to enjoy the other. You need money to enjoy your health. You need health to enjoy your money. So we said, let's look for something that we can use, that they can engage with, that will enable them to not have to worry about so much about having to work every hour God sends in order to get the money they need to do what they need to do with regards to their health. So we've engaged with a system working with the Forex market. The Forex market is a $1 trillion industry, or $1 trillion market, that it's been recession proof for many years. It's been able to function in any kind of adverse market condition. And it's just been able to withstand the test of time from the time it started about 250 years ago, when they started to introduce currency as opposed to trading cows and goats, etc. So now they've been using currency for the last 250 years. The Forex market has been growing and growing and growing to the point where now they trade, I think, 5.5 or about $6 trillion worth of trade happens every day. 6 trillion, not billion, $6 trillion of trade happens every day. So we got involved in that market through a very good colleague of mine. And I started back in September. So I got involved in September, and I started with $500, which is like equivalent about 400 something pounds. And I set up a few accounts for my son, for my staff, for my sister. I set up a few accounts for a few family members to help them to build up their finances. My plan was to really build it up to about 50,000 and then give them the card they can go and spend. But they heard about it during the process and decided to get involved themselves when we did the presentations. So I started with this system in September, and I kid you not, because it's passive income, I haven't got to do anything. I just, I've got money sitting in the bank, I had some savings sitting in the bank. I said, rather than have the money sitting in the bank where it's only going to pay me about less than 1% a year, and I was able to earn between 1% and 3% a day, so a maximum of 15% a week, it was a bit of a no-brainer for me. So I started with $500, and then I upgraded after I saw it working. It was generating money every day. I started, to see income coming in. So I increased my package to 2,000, and then after about another 2 weeks, I increased it to 5,000 in about a month. So by October, they were trading $5,000 for me, and that was all my savings, everything all in there. Now, from September, let's say from October till now, with me not doing anything, not doing any trading, not taking any part in the activity, just really just putting the money in there and letting the experts do what they do. By guess, how much do you think I've generated since that time till now? Just have a quick guess. From October till now, I put in 5,000. What do you think I've made from October till now? Let's have a wild guess. What did you say, Samantha? How much? All right, I'll have to unmute you. Let me unmute you.
11,000.
11,000, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
You think I made about 11,000? That's double, yeah? Any advance that you can put it in the chat if you want. How much do you think I've made since October till now with my 5,000? Okay, 11,000. Somebody said 14,000. Okay, 15,000. Okay, so put you out of your misery. Okay, from October till now, without me having to lift a finger and letting the guys do what they do best, I've managed to earn $52,000. I can see your mouth dropping. Put your mouth up, put your mouth up, put your mouth up. $52,000, that's, that was actually the easiest $52,000 I've ever earned in my life. $52,000 for doing nothing. So that's why when we put the advert, you know, you can come to learn proven ways to earn more money while you sleep than you do when you're actually awake. This is actually, you know, going to be shown and proven to you today. And I'll show you my back office. If we get time, I'll show you my back office, time permitting. So we want to share that with people so other people could be involved and to take part in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just give people the opportunity to see an overview of how it works, and then they can make an informed decision as to what you want to do or how you want to proceed. Because it's been running, the company's been running since July last year. They launched unofficially in July. They're now launched officially in November in Panama. And my business partner's been over there. He's met them. I said, take lots of videos. And he did. And he's come back, and we've got a lot of people involved, and everybody, there's a few people on the call. Once they've got involved, their money's been trading for them, and they're all making money. There's a lot of people that are coming into thousandaires, into 10,000aires, into 30,000aires, on the way to becoming millionaires. And we're so happy and so excited to be able to share that and to give people the opportunity to participate in that. I mean, I'm a multi-millionaire anyway. I claim that. I declare that as a multi-millionaire over myself. However, I want to have a lot of other movement. I'm actually a billionaire, really. I'm going to be real. I'm actually a billionaire. But I want to have a lot of millionaires along the way. And the reason why I want to have a lot of millionaires along the way, because I don't want to be the one to have to buy all the drinks. Because if I'm the only millionaire, everyone will look to me to pay all the bills. I'm like, no, I want to have everybody else having money around me as well. So I'm always happy to share. And one thing you learn when you start going into wealth creation, it's not about the same mindset you have when you're working on your own. You always share what you have, and you have a string of people that are feeding off of you. That's why anytime you see rich people, you see a string of charities that they support and endorse. It's part of the nature of accumulating wealth by helping make sure you help other people. So I'm going to quickly get the presentation up on the screen so I can kind of give you like a basic overview of the system and how it works so that you can see and make an informed decision if it's something you would like to participate in. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Can you see my screen? Please so we can see the screen. Yay! It's great. It's working. So I'm not going to do the whole detailed presentation because I didn't need to see all of this stuff before, because you just need to know enough to be able to, you know the nuts and bolts of how it works. But in a nutshell, I had money sitting in my bank and I put it in the system. I trust the company. The company are very transparent. They've been using my money. Basically, they trade on our behalf. They trade, they trade. For example, I asked one of the leaders, they trade in Forex, and I asked one of the leaders, is it safe to say that you make 100% on our money? That's why you can afford to give us between 1% and 3% a day. And he said, no. I said, oh. He said, no, you're wrong. We make more. I said, how? They have one system that they use to trade, and one of the systems that they use makes about 40% on our money. And they have about 10 different systems. So in all, they make about 400% on our money, so they can very much afford to give us between 1% and 3% a day. So we average of about 2%, which gives us about, they only trade 5 days a week. So that gives us 10% a week, which is about 40% a month. So let me get started with the presentation. We're working with a company called the Cash Forex Group. They're based in Panama. Let me just get this thing so I can slide it down. Okay. They have let me just clear the other screen. Move all this away. Guys, if you've got a question, you can fire your questions in the chat. We're going to open up when I finish presentation. It'll only take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can ask all the questions that you want to ask as we're going along. So The Cash Forex is the group. And they have succession of global Forex markets, and it's only a few mouse clicks away. I'm not going to go through all the slides. I'm just going to go through the main ones so you can kind of get a gist of what it entails. Okay, so it's all about Cash Forex. The company's called Cash Forex. Just to give you a little, can you see the screen, guys? Just give me a little nod if you can see the screen. Naomi, can you see the, Norma, can you see the screen? Yep, great stuff. So these are the different industries and what they kind of money they trade. Now the stock exchange, they trade about $20 billion a day. The equities market does about 191. The fixtures or the futures market does about 437. But the Forex market, when this was produced, it was doing 5.3 trillion. This is the level of volume, the trading volume that they trade on a daily, as it says here, market comparison, daily market volume is 5.3 trillion. That's what they trade on a daily basis. This is only accessed by very rich and wealthy people. But we're fortunate enough, because obviously what we do, have access to these type of systems, and we want to share it with you, so you can also take part and be a benefactor of these type of schemes. Now, why the Forex market? Because it's the largest and most liquid financial market in the world. They have a daily market trading volume of $5.3 trillion, if not even more. It's historically proven to be recession proof, because even now, people are going through what we call a recession or very adverse market condition, but yet people are still making money every day. We've got so many people that they started this system before the lockdown, they lost their jobs, and because they had money in the system that was continually trading for them, that was the only form of income, or the only income that they had to sustain them and allow them to pay their bills, do their shopping, look after their children. It was amazing. The stories and the testimonies that we had have just been so mind-blowing. You can leverage and compound your capital to maximize gains. The trades are done 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and guess what? It's all done by professional traders. We don't have to do anything. We haven't got to do any trading. We haven't got to look at any signals. We haven't got to put any positions or stop losses. They have top professional traders, and they have their own algorithms. They have their own artificial intelligence robots. They have their what they call expert advisors, and they have a very powerful system that is all managed by professional traders on their platform in Panama. So their Forex group, their purpose is to provide a global membership with a premium academy and proprietary automated trading technology that allows members to discover financial success within the Forex marketplace. Now, everyone takes part in the Forex market, because if you've gone to another country and you've bought another currency, you've participated in the Forex market. If you've changed money from pounds to dollars or dollars to yen, you've been to China, any country, you've participated in the Forex market. However, you didn't get any benefit from those exchanges, because every time you go to a bureau de change, they charge you to change the money, and there's people that make an interest or commission from that exchange. So this is quickly about the founders. This guy here, Huáscar Lopez, fantastic guy. He's also a Christian and a believer. He's dedicated to, well, having years of expertise in cryptocurrency. And his partner, Edwin Abbas, these are the guys at the front. Edwin is a specialist in trading. He heads up all the trading. These guys have a very powerful risk management system that they use. I love their risk management system. That's why I'm so confident about being involved and sharing it with other people, because their risk management system is what really attracted me to it, because what they do, they only ever risk 3% of what they're holding. So if they're holding $1 million, they'll only ever put 3% at risk. So all the money that they make, I think 3% of $1 million is at 30,000. All the money they make is made from that $30,000. All the money that they lose is also lost from that $30,000. And they do make losses from time to time, but we're kind of insulated against that, because the gains are so high when they make the gains. So they only ever risk 3% of our money. So 97% of our money is always ring-fenced and kept safe. Now, in that 3%, like I said, they're making like between 100 and 400% on our money. That's why they can afford to give us back between 1 and 3% a day. When you compare their risk management system to the banks, the financial institutions, a bank today can risk up to 15% of your invested funds. If you have 100,000, they can risk 15,000 of that money on stocks, shares, and all those different ventures to help to increase the bank's cash flow. However, if anything was happening to the banks, the financial compensation scheme would only ever guarantee you $85,000, which means that 15% they can afford to lose, but they'll only ever guarantee you $85,000. That's why the financial FCSC, Financial Service Compensation Scheme, will only guarantee you that you'll get $85,000 back. But these guys only ever risk 3%. Now 3% compared to 15 is a big jump. So these guys are in the Forex market and they're risking only 3% of our money, but the banks are risking 15%, just so you have that as a comparative in the backdrop. They operate out their offices in Panama. They have a whole floor. Like my business partner, Martin, he's been out there. I made sure he took loads of videos, loads of pictures. I don't want to bore you with too much of the boring stuff. Let me see this slide here. They have web TV, so they're actually doing real live trades. You'll see for the back office, they've got real proper marketing tools. If you want to share the business with other people, you can do that. They've got a lot of tools for you to help to do that, but it's not dependent on that. You don't have to share it with anybody. You can put your money in, they can trade it for you, and your money, when your money doubles, that's when your contract expires. I'll explain more about that in a second. But what they do have is they have like an academy, which is like a way that you can learn, like a training academy that enables you to learn. If you want to learn about trading, you can learn, you know, the basics, the skills, the different fundamentals, and they have different levels of learning that you can participate in. They've got the elemental series, they've got the advanced series, and they've got the professional series or the supreme series. These are all different academy levels that you can come in and learn. I have not used any of these systems. I had no interest in learning because I have my own business to run. I'm a health practitioner. I'm a natural product manufacturer. So we don't have time to be taking on things that are in addition to what we already do, our main line. So we have no interest in learning, but it's there. It's part of the package. It's part of what you purchase of having the trading academy. Now, the different levels, how you can get involved, and this is what I love about this company. Most companies that enable people to gain money from trading, they either have a very high entry fee, or they have like a monthly ongoing retainer fee, or they have a system where you have to recruit other people in order for you to, you know, to keep your fees low or to keep your price down or to keep the service accessible. They've removed all of those barriers and made it really, really low and easy to access. So you can come with as little as $300, which is about £250, and they will start trading with that $300 for you and giving you a daily return on a daily basis. And you can access that money. You can actually withdraw it every week. Once you've made over $100, you can withdraw that money every single week. We always recommend people start with at least a $500 or $1,000 package. Why? It's just so you can see your money. You get a bit more excited. When you get about $7 to $10 or $15 a day, it's a lot more exciting than seeing, you know, £1.84. But it depends where you're at, how your finances are. There's no pressure. There's no obligation for you to sign up at any level. Whatever you're comfortable to start with, that's what you start with. But they've got $300, they've got the $500, they've got $1,000, they've got $2,000, you've got $3,000, you've got $5,000. Then you've got the advanced series, which is like $7,000, $10,000, up to $30,000. Then you got the Supreme series, which is like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, up to $100,000. So people can invest whatever level that they're comfortable with. I started with $500. I've upgraded, because as you upgrade, I told you my figure, right? I said I'm on 52,000. Yeah, I'm on 52,000. I've earned 52,000. I've actually, because I've been upgrading, I've not added any more money in. I've just been making money, taking it out, reinvesting it. So now I'm actually trading on 30,000. So they're trading $30,000 for me. So I'm getting good return. I think yesterday I earned, every week you get the money trading onto your platform. So I think yesterday I earned another about $1,800. Normally I get about 2,400, but it went down a bit because of the economic situation. But now things starting to pick back up. We used to do average of about 2% a day. We dropped down to about 1% a day during the lockdown. But now it's going back up 1.4, 1.8. It's going back up to 2%. So normally I do about 2,400 a week, which is about 2,100 a week what I was doing on average, which is about 8,400 a month. But now it's dropped down to about 1,800 a week, which is about 5,000, 6,000 a month, which is still very, very good. So that's on 30,000. So I'm going to upgrade very soon to the next package, which is 40,000. Okay. So how you start? Everyone starts off as a bear, what you call a bear capital. Basically, bear just means when you come in, if you haven't got any friends on Facebook, you've got no friends on WhatsApp, just you say, you know, I've had some bad experience in the past. I want to come in, put my money in. I'm not going to tell anybody because something might go wrong. So as a bear capital contract, whatever you start with, let's say you start with $1,000. That means when you earn up to 2 times, you can earn up to 2 times the trade contract. So if you start with $1,000, your contract expires when you've made double, when you've made another 1,000 on top of your 1,000. That means you've not told anybody, you've not shared it with anybody, you just left it in there. It used to be within about 4 to 5 months, your money doubles. You made another 1,000 on top of your 1,000, at which point you've exceeded your 2 times your trade value, your contract is expired, so you can either renew or upgrade. But they've fulfilled their obligation to you, which is to double your money. Now, that's as a bear. But if you decide to share it with anybody, that's that you become, and that person decides to buy any size contract with a 300 or 30,000, you automatically become a bull capital contract. When you become a bull, that means you've now got people, you decide you want to build a business or share it with your friends, family, or whatever. That enables you to get another 2 times your principal. So if you start with 1,000, your bare capital will allow you to make 2 times 1,000, which is 2,000. If you share it with somebody, you're now able to get another 2,000. You can earn up to 4,000. Now, and as you keep upgrading, so if you start with 1,000 and then you bring somebody in and you think, right, this is working really well, I'm going to upgrade to 2,000, you can now earn up to 8,000 before your contract expires. Does that make sense? Okay. So then you've got your, okay, how it works now. So when you come in, how it the academy packs break down. Let's use $1,000 as an example, just to keep it simple. Everybody that comes in, if you start with 1,000, 30% of it here goes to the company. The company keeps 30%, and 70% is what they put into trade. They'll put 700 into trade, and they'll use that $700 to make you double your principal of 1,000. So you use 700 to double your 1,000. It was before, it was taking about 4 or 5 months. Now that things dropped down a little bit, it might take about 6 months, but they'll use that 70% or 700 to double your principal. That's when your contract expires. Now, what happens to that 30%? That 30% is retained by the company, and they use that to pay out any kind of commissions or any kind of, it's actually to cover your academy for your learning. But the company will use that to cover any kind of bonuses or unit-level bonuses that they give to the members who sponsored you or shared the opportunity with you. So what that means is that 700 or 70% goes into trade, 30% goes to the company. But you as a person that invited that person will get 50% of that 30%. So let's say 300 has gone into the company, they will take half of that and give that to you, $150, as a fast start bonus, as a thank you for sharing the opportunity with other people. Just like if you go to a cinema, you go to the shop and you refer somebody, Sage will give you reward points. Everyone rewards people when they share an opportunity that they're now making their friends participate in. The other 50% will go to other parts of your organization. They might get 10% of it. So one person might get $15. Basically, everyone gets a small part of the other 15%. It is not a pyramid. It's not a pyramid because pyramids don't have any kind of business activity. And they have, a pyramid has to have, well, to make it a pyramid, that means there's no business activity. It's just the money coming in, it's the money that's going out and recycling. This one, they have a trading activity. They have a product, which is a trading platform, and they also have another product, which is the trading academy. They have 2 products. So with the money that you put, the 70%, the 700, that's used to trade. That's actually used on a platform to trade the Forex to bring you a return on your investment. And the other 30% is what they use for the academy, but they also use that to reward any commissions. So it's completely separate. Then you've got the trading results. I'm going to wrap up now. The trading results, they give you up to 15% a week. I like the way they said they cap it at 15% because they give you between 1% and 3% every day. So an average of maximum of 3%, minimum of like about between 1% and 1%. So on average, we were doing about 2% a day, which was giving us an average of about 10% a week on our money every single week. And every Saturday, that money gets put onto our platform and we can withdraw that. Once you put over $100, you made over $100, you can make a withdrawal. There's a 20% fee that you pay. That 20% fee, again, is another special incentive bonus that they use to incentivize the members. So for example, if you want to withdraw $100, you'll get $80. $20 or 20% gets retained. It's just distributed amongst the members as an extra incentive that you won, so everybody else gets to win. So they've got a lot of very unique bonuses. This one here, the 50% fast start bonus, is the one I showed you before, the 30%. Where 70% goes into trade, 30% is what is retained by the company. But you as a person who's introduced somebody will get 50% of that 30%. So if it's $300 is a 30%, you'll get 50% of that, which is $150. That's what you call a fast start bonus. That's another way you can really build your funds up very quickly. Let's go down to the next one. Then you've got all these different unit level bonuses. I didn't understand this. I've only started to understand it now. I'm not going to waste time with it just now because it's not relevant for you just now. It's another force matrix bonus. This is a little bit like the bonus that they talk about where people pay that 20% fee, how it gets divided amongst the members. So it's a way it's a way of rewarding people that don't share it with anybody. So if you don't share it with anybody, you'll still get to benefit and participate in the matrix, what we call the force matrix system, where that 20% fee, you will still get a portion of that 20% fee. So if someone takes out $100, the company keeps that $20, you will get a part of that $20 as a force matrix commission. So if you're not sharing it with anybody you're entitled to, you still get additional bonuses. Then you get the force matrix. Again, this is stuff I'm not going to go into, but for those who want to build a business, who want to take it and share it with other people, there's lots of ways that the company can pay. There's a lot of ways it can make a lot of money, you know, very quickly, just to help other people. Then you've got the leadership program. For those who really want to take it to the next level and get serious, I'm going to show you some of the prizes that they have. I've won this one so far. You can get an iPad Pro when you become an executive. I won this one about in March. I didn't know I'd even done it. I just shared it with a few people. The next one I'd hit rank of executive. So obviously you can either take the $900 or you can take the, you can take the iPad Pro that's valued at $900, or you can take the money equivalent, which was $675. You can guess what I took, right? I took the money, of course I did, $675. Or you can have the Rolex. I'm not really into watches and stuff, but that's valued at $10,000. You get travel, estimated at $15,000. You can travel with the companion. Or you got the Porsche. I know some people have got this Porsche already. You got the Ferrari for those who like cars. And then you got the Lamborghini worth $500,000. So that concludes the presentation. Again, this is not dependent on people having to share. You don't have to share. It's not mandatory. But for those who choose to, most people come and say, you know what, I've had some bad experiences in the past. I'm not really gonna, you know, get too excited with sharing. Let me see if it works for me. Let me see how, if it actually does what it says it does. And they'll come in, they'll put their money in, they'll see it working. And 90% of them think, you know what, this is too good to be true. They see it, they experience it. They always come back and start sharing it with other people, because you naturally want to do that. You want to help other people to be able to benefit as well. So I'm going to get a few people, I'm going to unmute a few people just to share their experience since being in the system. So we can kind of have, just to kind of get some backdrop on how they find it. Like I said, we say your Saturdays, once you join this business, your Saturdays will never be the same, because every Saturday you get paid. Every Saturday you get an email showing you what you've earned. So let me get a few people. Let me unmute Dawn. Dawn Francis, you there? Let me unmute you. I'm gonna call on Dawn. Okay, because everybody starts out really skeptical, as they do, but like I said, we share it because we want to empower people, and we've seen what it's been able to do in the lives of a lot of our members. Okay, Dawn, are you there, Dawn? Okay, all right, Claudette, are you there, Claudette? Well, in fact, you know what I did? I muted everybody and I didn't allow them to unmute themselves, so. Okay, Dawn or Claudette, are you there? Okay, let me call on Christine. Christina? You there, Christina? Christina? You there, Christina? Right. Arita, you there as well? Okay, excellent. Wow, there's a lot of people on today. Delpine, hey! Delpine, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right, I'm you, Delpine.
I can hear you.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Delpine, let's give us a quick testimony of how how long you've been and how you found Cash FX, how you started where you are now.
Okay, I started in October and I came in at 500 because I was a little bit dubious, you know, as you do, because I've been in things before and it hasn't worked for me. But I thought, you know, I'm going to give this a try. And my friend Christine brought me in. Anyway, I came with 500 and after a couple of weeks, I had 2,000 in an ISA. The ISA was actually doing nothing for me. I wasn't getting anything on it. So I thought, you know what, I might as well upgrade. So I upgraded, I put 1,500 in and upgraded to the 2,000. And then I also had an account for my grandson, who is a lot younger. He's 13, but his older brother, I put his name on it for him. So I got him going. And I eventually went up to, I doubled, how long ago was it I doubled? I think it was in March, I doubled the 4,000. And I then, because I'd left it in quite a while, I only had to put in about another £190, and I went up to 5,000. So I'm at 5,000 now. I think I got to 5,000 about 2 weeks ago. So from October until now, I've reached my 5,000 goal, and I'm now heading towards my 10,000. So that's what I'm heading for now. And I'm hoping to get there within the next couple of months.
Wow, fantastic. And I know you did something really nice for somebody. Did you open another account for somebody? Or you opened a couple of accounts for some people?
I opened an account for my granddaughter as well. So I'm just trying to get the young ones in bit by bit. And I think I'll get my daughter in soon as well.
Fantastic.
So it's not just for me, it's for the whole family.
Absolutely. And all their accounts are growing. They're all growing very well. They're all growing nicely.
Yes, they are. They are. They're doing really well. My grandson's one doubled. And my daughter's one, she's on, I think she's probably on about 300 at present, extra 300. So she'll be doubling in another couple of weeks.
Wow. Wow. So you know you've got to renew their packages. When it gets to that point, you have to renew or upgrade.
Yeah. Yes, I will do.
Fantastic. Okay, Christina, are you there with us, Christina? Oh, King. Okay, I'm going to get one more testimony and I'll get some questions. Sophia, are you still with us, Sophia? You still with us, Sophia? 008? Okay, I know I've got a few people there. I'll get one more testimony. Right, who else has just started? Someone else has just started. I'll give a quick testimony.
Hi, it's Claudette.
Claudette, hey Claudette.
Hi.
Go ahead, man. You've been in the business for a little bit, haven't you?
No, well, no. I haven't really been in that long. I think it's about what? Over about a month and a half.
Okay, perfect. Just give us a bit about your experience in that month and a half.
Yeah, because I just took the 300. I mean, I'm looking to upgrade soon anyway, within the next week. So I came in on the 300 because I just wanted to see how it works and just, kind of get used to the platform, that type of thing. So I've done that, but it's been really good. Actually, I got an email yesterday, and on the 300, it's made the most that it's made since the 5 weeks, which is about what nearly about 15 for the week.
Okay.
Because usually you've been averaging about 11.
Yes.
The week. So, but I know you said when you get the 300, you're kind of like, you want to see it grow a bit, faster. Yes. So if you have a, the next package, like maybe the 500 or the 1,000, then you'll see it grow a lot quicker. But, yes. But definitely. I've shared it with a couple of people, so I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But either way, I'm quite happy. Yes. So with hopefully next week I'll be doing 500, but even not too long after that, I'm looking to go to the 1,000. So
fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't recommend people dip their toe. Put your whole foot in, at least get some substantial returns right from the get-go. But some people are very cautious, which is fine, and no problem at all. Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Basil, I'm going to unmute you, Basil. Basil, like I said, he's one of our upcoming millionaires. He's so generous. He's Caprice. I wonder if Caprice is here because he donated some products to her last week after we shared about the Joblin and this SOS. Basil was so kind to donate as part of his Ramadan charity donations. He donated very kindly a bottle of SOS and a bottle of Joblin to a lady who was doing some really good work in the community, to helping people who are on lower income. Because someone was asking about, what do people do if they're on low incomes? How do they afford all these, high quality premium products? So, because of what she was doing, he just recognized that this is a great opportunity for him to share and to pour into her life. That's why we always say it's important that, you keep doing the good works that you're doing, because they say you reap whatsoever you sow. You do reap whatsoever you sow. You might not reap where you sow, you definitely reap what you sow. And last week was a classic example of her doing some good works and her getting a reward from a completely unexpected area. Is that you, Eileen?
Yes. Oh.
Eileen, Miss Edwards. Is that you, Miss Edwards?
Yeah, shush.
Sorry. Sorry, Eileen, quickly share before we bring in Basil. Quickly share your experience real quick.
Hang on. Hi.
That's Eileen. There you go.
Hello. Hang on
Hello,
a
my
minute.
dear.
Let me make myself available to everybody. How do I do
let's
that?
see a lovely face.
All right. Give me a minute. I don't know how to do it. What do I do?
Oh, there you go. That's Eileen.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I joined it through recommendation from a friend, and very fruitful. I even signed up my brother and managed to recommend somebody else as well. Everybody's skeptical at the beginning because, I mean, you're putting money into something and you're putting your faith into it. What I loved about it was I didn't have to do anything. So it works for you. And even in this COVID times, the fact that you're still making money is a good thing, and you still don't have to do much to do that. So I'm looking forward to upgrading really soon.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Basil, go ahead, sir. Just share your experience.
Good afternoon, family. I see everybody's here. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a great believer in God, but I understand that we're all, it manifests itself in reality, that not in spooks or ghosts. So yeah, you heard that I bought some products for sister last week, and that. But how did that manifest itself in reality? Those products didn't cost me that much, but my last week's earnings from Cash FX were 10 times as much as I paid for the products. So in that respect, that I get that I can bear witness that I gave out and things came back to me. So in terms of Cash FX, I say that I started in the 23rd of November. I made my first withdrawal in the beginning of December. I started with $2,000. I upgraded to $10,000 at the beginning of January. I upgraded to the $20,000 package in the beginning of March. So far, my return not money with forex trading as well, and I was on a high risk. I tried a
okay.
Then in one 5-minute high speed trade. Then in one 5-minute high speed trade, I went from £65,000 to £3,000. Got wiped out. Now that may well turn people against ever trying something like this again. But what it did for me is that when Cash FX came along, I knew what I was looking at. And the experience I had meant that I knew what to look for, and Cash FX, I know that this addressed all of the issues that people have a problem with and that I've previously experienced. And as I say, that if perchance, and I'll finish with this, if perchance your bank account is paying you 23%, if it paid you 23% interest over last month, then if it's going to pay you in the future as we recover out of COVID and the forex market, well, it didn't really fall that much as Aaron has bear witness because of its nature. If your bank account is earning for you between 1% and 2% a day, between 40% a month. But if that's the case, then you might want to. The only abilities of Cash FX is I put myself and my wife, and it's like a success, yeah. That I know people, friends, family, and some of them have $300 and bought their first package. And when some have had a little bit more, and I've added a little bit more so they can buy a package. The idea has been that we're trying to make it possible. See how far that $300 can go into helping other people. So once you've made that $300 back, see if you can do the same thing to somebody else, and let's see how far these $300 go? So I've started this off with a few people, and as I say, God is not a spook. That the reason why I can do this is because the reality of what comes in terms of my week in terms of trading was $1,460.
Wow.
So as I say, I can only bear witness to what it does for me and what it's done for me so far. But the only way you're really going to bear witness is when you see your own money start to grow.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. So I've seen work and still fairly it's really at the front there. And the moment the trade people said what to do, and they just think about them.
Similar to Bitcoin.
When you buy your package Bitcoin, you come with Bitcoin anyway, in the forex space. The money that's made, but you take away you got and they don't make to buy some gold to make you can't make money. You also withdraw your money, but they'll pay you out in Bitcoin. If it's a wallet, you just convert it into cash. You can go spend it as you choose. Next question.
Okay. McLean asked, is the indices included?
They don't do any stocks and shares. It's purely forex. I mean, the reason why we love it is forex because even when they had the indices and the stocks and shares market crash, I think in the early days of the lockdown, where a lot of shares went down, a lot of prices went down off the shares, we had a really good week that week. We made a lot of money that week. Why? Because all these investors that were worried about their shares going down, they started to sell. So when they're selling, obviously they had to convert the currency for them to sell them. All those savvy investors that were smart, that were buying up all these shares, they wanted to buy the Russians, the Chinese, the Indians, the Pakistanis. Again, they have to exchange currency to purchase all these shares. So millions and billions of dollars of currency space. We paying for all that. It can function in any kind of market condition. And in fact, traders actually wait for times like this where the market goes into reverse situation or becomes. So no, there's no indices involved. It's only strictly forex, which keeps it really simple and allows them to drill down on the area of expertise.
Hi. Yeah. I think someone.
20 minutes. Yes, or doesn't matter.
Have you got any questions you want to ask?
Yeah. There's another question here. Asked, how is it taxed?
Oh, taxation always comes up. We always give the proper answer is that really you need to speak to your accountant about that. The reason why we say that because you earn the money, I think when you withdraw it into your bank account, then it becomes taxable. But I'm not an accountant. I don't want to give wrong information. I want to give you information based on what I know. But yeah, we say it's best to speak to an accountant, but apparently some people say it's not taxable. Some people say it is, but we say the best person to speak to is an accountant. But I know if you draw it into your, I take mine from the platform and I just spend it from the actual platform because you actually get a digital wallet and you can actually get, with the one that we use, you can actually get a Visa card. So once you've got your money, you convert it into pounds, you can just go to the cash point and spend it, or you can go to the ATM or go to the shops and go shopping. You can spend your money every Saturday. You can withdraw your money and spend it. So I don't let it get to that point where I have to draw it into my bank where it becomes taxable earnings. But again, we recommend speak to your accountant.
So it's not tax exempt, is that right? Someone's asked.
I wouldn't want to say. I wouldn't want to give a definitive answer and say because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'd rather people take individual advice from their particular money manager or accountant if they have one, or financial advisor.
Okay. What happens if you don't have the money to upgrade at the time?
No problem at all. No problem at all. There's no obligation. Once you've put your money in, once you've started, say you start with the $300 or your $500 package, and you say, you know what, I'm going to watch it and let it grow. They will continue generating funds on your money until you've reached double, until you've made another 500 on top of your 500. If you haven't got any money to upgrade, at least you know you've got that additional 500 that you've made, which you can withdraw. You can withdraw that minus the 20%, so you get 400 back. So you can just always add another 100 on top of that and then upgrade to the next package, which is 1,000. So even if you withdraw, you're always gonna have money in there still trading. I mean, I did a withdrawal 10,000 the other day just to make, to get us through this little period. And I just left it. I left it on the wallet, but I ended up using most of it to help set up other people's accounts. But yeah, if you haven't got enough money, once your money's in there, it will continue generating returns for you.
Okay. Pamela has asked the question: is 250 the lowest investment to make?
It is at the moment because they try to keep it as low as possible by making $300 the lowest. I mean, like I said, most of these platforms, they normally start at, you know, maybe 5,000 or 10,000. But these guys are trying to keep it really simple and accessible as possible by making it $300, which is equivalent to about 245, 250 pounds. And if someone doesn't have 250 pounds, they definitely need to be doing something like this to really, you know, improve their financial situation. Because you can't go into this next COVID round and without having any kind of, you know, secure financial platform, because that's when you become a perfect victim to say, well, if you can't afford to do it, then you got to take the job. Or how you going to eat? And that's how they're going to get people. So we want to make sure people have got some kind of alternative form of income, so it gives them some level of autonomy in their life and in the decisions that they have to make.
Right. Okay. Malibu asked, can you trade your own account yourself? You did actually mention that we get a broker and how that happens, but can you trade by yourself?
You can. When you get to the higher levels of the academy do allow that. They have a really powerful system called copy trading, where they allow you to access the trades that the actual traders are doing. So you can get to copy those trades, obviously with a slightly lower return, but it'll be a lot higher than the return that they give us when we do nothing. So there is an opportunity in the higher package. I think when you go to the 50,000 or packages and above in the advanced professional series, you can actually start trading yourself. And the company's always improving, they're always introducing new things. Before, they never had all these different incremental upgrades. Before, this used to be 300, then 500, then 1,000, then 5,000, then 10,000. But now they've put the other increments in there. Now you've got 1,000, you've got 3,000, you've got 5,000, you've got 7,000. So they're always responding to the feedback from their members. So yeah, just in terms of answering the question, you can actually do your own trades, but you have to work your way up through the academy to make sure that you're fully proficient. So the one thing they don't want you to do, they want you to lose money through being inexperienced.
A question that's been asked over and over is, how do you join?
How do you what?
How do you join?
Oh, really easy. The first thing you got to do is you have to be invited. If your name's not down, you're not coming in. Sorry, guys. Nah, you have to be invited. We have a link. I'll give you a link that I'll share. It's myharvest.cashfxgroup.com. We'll type that into the link. And if you're not in the but I'll tell you what the best thing to do is to download Telegram, join the Telegram group, and then you can have access to all the entry links that you need to get into the platform. If you were invited by someone to come on this call today, get back to the person who invited you and they will give you their link, because you need to have a special link. You need to be invited. It's a very closed members group. You have to be invited by someone to come in. All of my people that have come in, you've got your email, you've got my details. You can message me privately, because I always have access to the chat, and I will send you an invitation link that you can use to join. And then we have a Zoom call where we do like a mass join where we do an onboarding together. We have a lot of support groups. We have another dedicated Telegram group as well. That's just full of members, hundreds of members that are all in there, and they're all making money there, and they all are happy to help each other. They share information. If people have any issues, there's lots of people on hand to help you get through those issues. But it's really it's a whole community of people that are all about, you know, building wealth and increasing people's finances. But in order for you to join, you have to have a link, which I can give you, but you need to make sure I've got your details, or you have my details, and say, look, I'd like to join. Can you send me a link? And then we can hold your hand to make sure we can direct you through the process of signing up.
Okay. What's the difference between the packages? Someone's asked this question.
The packages, it's just really just the cost. Really, it's really, really simple. This is why we like this system so much, because it's so simple. You start you're happy or comfortable to start with. You want to start with 300, you start with 300. You start with 500, you start with 500. You start with 1,000. Even if you start with 500 and you think, you know what, I've got 500, which is about 430, 420 pounds. You start with that. What will happen is 70% goes into trade, 30% goes to the academy. So let's use 1,000, I like 1,000, so it's an easy number. You start with 1,000, 700 will go into trade. From that 700, you're going to get average of about, let's say we use 2% average a day. So average of about 2% a day, that's 10% a week. So every week on your 700, you'd earn an average of about $70 a week on your 700. If you times that by 4, that's 280 a month. Now, that's on a $1,000 package. The difference between 1,000 and say like a 5,000 is you earn $280 a month on a $1,000 package. If you have a $5,000 package, you earn 5 times 280. The mathematician on there will tell me the answer. 5 times 2 is 1,000. 5 times, you earn 1,400 a month. So you either can earn 1,400 a month or you can earn 280 a month. It depends what package size you have. The percentage is the same, but it depends what package you have. That's why people start off with what they're comfortable with and then they upgrade because they want to increase their income and increase the returns.
Okay. I think the same person that asked that question asked me, there are academy and trading packs and academy packages as well, only. I don't know.
Yes, I mean, when you join, that's what we guide you through the joining process. We generally we do everything in groups. The reason why we do it in groups because this is not our main line. This is not our main business. We have some people whose main business it is that we plug you into, but that's all done through the groups. But to make it easy and more time efficient, we get everything done as a group. So when you want to join, we have like different onboarding days. We'll have a Zoom call and we'll make sure everyone's got, the first thing we do is get you registered. The first thing you've got to do is register with it. You create your username and password, ideally with a Gmail, you get the confirmation email and you're in. And then we take you through the process of buying your package. We help you buy your package in the first instance because you've got to get the whole Bitcoin and get a Bitcoin wallet. So we help you do that in the beginning because once you learn it, it's like when you get a new job. When you start the job, you don't know everything about the job straight away, but you should know you're getting paid. But while you're getting paid, you're earning while you're learning. So we help you, but the first thing that we do is we get you registered via the link. Once you're registered, then we get you to help to purchase your package. We show you how to purchase a package and get you started. So within about 3 days, you'll start earning money.
Okay. Hello.
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 Go ahead, Angela.
Hi, I basically want hearing about the trading, and I wanted to find out. So you pay like minimum is $250, so you pay $250. What is the benefit from that? And are you also, do you have to keep an eye on the trading itself, or is it somebody else that's doing it for you?
Very good question, Angela. You don't have to do anything. They have the traders. They have a professional trading platform. The traders are all guys like us as well. They do all the trading. They have their robots. They have their algorithms. They have their artificial intelligence, and they have the expert advisors. And all these systems are monitored by these professional traders who have their big platform in Panama. So they observe all the trades. They're very risk averse. They have a very good risk management system. They do all the trading for you, and they give you all the returns. Every day you go into a trading pool, you look in your trading pool, you'll see what you've earned the day before, because they trade in all the different markets all over the world. So while we're sleeping, some of the markets are still open. So generally, if you want to see what you earned the day before, you may log in on a Tuesday to see what you earned on Monday. Now, you don't have to log in. I don't log in. I hardly log in. I just wait, because every Saturday, you'll get an email telling you what you've earned. But you do have a trading pool. If you want to access it, you can go into access your trading pool to see how your money is growing. Just like a bank account, you can log in to see how, check your statements or check your balance. You can do that anytime, but it's not obligatory. You don't have to. The only thing you need to be mindful of is when your package is about to reach maturity, which means your package is about to double, that's when you have to take action. You either have to upgrade or renew. That's the only thing you really have to do. But other than that, there's no obligation on your part. You haven't got to worry about, how did I do today? Did I do good? No, they do all that for you, and they pay you, they reward you on a daily basis between 1% and 3%. Monica? Okay, next question.
Okay, McLean asked, can I set up a family member, and would I get a bonus as a recommendation?
Absolutely. I mean, every time you set up an account, as I said, 70% is what goes into trade, 30% goes to the academy, and from that 30%, your commissions and everything is paid. So if you set up one for your sister or your daughter or your mum, and you put your mum on a $500 package, for example, your mum, so you do it for your mum, so you put a $500 package for your mum, and so what's 30% of that? 150 is the 30%. So your mum would have a trading package of 350. 150 will be retained by the company, of which you will get $75. That's 50% of the 150. You'll get $75 as a fast start bonus. So yes, you do. Even if you set up a family member, like some people do it for family members, and it kind of works out because the money still comes back to them anyway. So it's kind of like a win-win. So absolutely, you do get rewarded.
Okay. And when you withdraw your money, is that in liquid cash?
No, when you withdraw, you can. I'm gonna quickly show you my account real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can log in and do a share screen. I just logged in on mine, and I'll show you the withdrawal process. Let me go to share screen. Is it up? Yes, it's up there. Fantastic. Right. Let me share this. Tell me if you can see this.
Sorry to bother again, but what about so if you started off say with £1,000, you would end up you start earning quite quickly, or is it doesn't matter what the amount you spend basically? Does it matter?
Right, Angela. The more you have in there, the more you earn. So everyone starts earning straight away. So if you start with a package 1,000 or 10,000 or 300, if you start today, your account will be live by Wednesday. So by Thursday, you'll see your first payment. The difference is if you started on 1,000, which you'd see, let's keep the average of 2%. You'd see an average of 10% of 700 is 70. So 2% of that, you see about $15 on the first day. If you had a smaller package, you see a little bit less. So obviously, the more you have, the quicker your money grows. So the bigger amount you have in initially is the faster your money is able to grow. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay.
Right. I think we've got a hacker on the line, so let's see if we can get through as much as we can before the hacker starts to really reap any havoc. So, yeah, can you see this on the screen? Can you see it, Nirvana? I mean, Nadine? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you see my screen? Yes, no? Can anybody see my screen? I can't hear anybody. Can you see? Hold on a minute. We'll stop sharing.
Yes.
So you can see it, yes?
Yes, we can.
Oh, so sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Can you still see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So on here,
Seeing it.
you can see it, yeah? Okay.
So the only way to get onto the is to join, yeah?
Yes,
you'll be sending a link.
Yes, I'll send the link. I mean, what you do,
okay.
Call today. How did you hear about the call today?
Sorry?
How did you hear about the call today? How did you hear about it?
I'm always on here. This is Angela from Birmingham, dear.
Oh, Angela, okay, right. Okay, so I've got the details. Let me type, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna type it in the chat now so you can make a note of this link. This is what you need to do to join and then get in touch with me. I'll put my contact details there. So what you need to do is, I'm gonna type this in.
So if you get, so when you, how does it work in regards, like when you introduce people, you gain a percentage? How is that? Because I only heard part of your info. That's the reason why I'm re-asking this, sorry.
Oh, no problem. You would, when you invite people, the same thing would happen. You would get rewarded every time you invite somebody. My Harvest. Okay. You invite somebody, you share it with somebody, and everybody that they invite will be linked to you as well. My Harvest FX group. But that's if you choose to do that. You don't have to invite anybody. You can just keep it to yourself, and your money will continue to be generated on a daily basis. Right. So harvest.cashfxgroup.com. And then I will add, I'm going to have a website very soon that you can have all this information available. To get in touch with myself. I'm going to put this in the chat now because you will need some help to get yourself set up. Okay, can everybody see that in the chat? Can you see the link in the chat?
Let's see.
That's it. Everybody see that in the chat?
Yep. Yeah?
Yeah, okay, great. So if you go into the chat, guys, just if you want to join, you need to use that link. You can paste it. And oh wow, God truly shines through. I love that, Basil. Thank you so much, Basil. That's a lovely testimony. We'll get back to the person who invited you. Yes, we'll get back to the person who invited you. So if somebody invited you on the call, get back to them, and they will give you their link, their URL, special link, because you need to have a special link to join. So I'll type it one more time. myharvest.com. So let's use that link, and then that'll enable you to join. But if we've got some, there you go. Oh, there you go. So Sophia, for anybody Sophia, oh, you can do it as a link, Sophia. Oh, wonderful. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, let me quickly try and copy and share, because that way they can click onto it straight away. Or come on Telegram. The Telegram name, the name of the group on Telegram is Healing Rooms. If you go into Healing Rooms on Telegram, that will enable you to get full access. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to just copy and paste the URL so that you can see it straight away. Yeah, on Telegram, it's very easy. On Telegram, you just type in download Telegram, and once you join Telegram, you just put the name, search for Healing Rooms, and you can join the Healing Rooms, and then you have all the details that you need via the Healing Rooms. Right, let's get rid of that.
So is that Healing Rooms Cutting Edge? Because there's like three.
Yes, Healing Rooms Cutting Edge, that's the one.
Okay, Healing Rooms Cutting Edge. I'm in, I didn't waste time. I'm in. Everybody, this is a fantastic. Thank you so much, by the way.
Say that one more time, say that again.
Thank you so much for putting this together. This is been a fantastic meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I believe if there's any risk takers on here, go in, join. I'm joining. I'm not wasting any time. I want to make money effortlessly. That has been my prayer. You know, this is a fantastic time to be alive, everybody. So he gave us some good information. Let's continue to keep healthy, look after ourselves, and look forward to the future, because we are the chosen generation, definitely. It's us. We're here to do this. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Duchess.
Platform to us.
Thank you. You're most welcome. This is what we're here for. This is what we want to do. We want to really, let people be empowered, let people be able to take charge of their health and take charge of their finances and take charge of their future, rather than having to be dependent and, be subject to the lies and become victims or be vulnerable and be taken advantage of. We want to try and make sure people got the right information and the right tools to be able to do that. So yes, thank you so much for that, Duchess, and for taking action. But yeah, join the group, Telegram group. It's Healing Rooms, Cutting Edge Natural Health Healing, and make use of the link. I'm going to quickly show you my back office. But like I said, if not, get the person who invited you to show you. But I'm going to do a big onboarding tonight after the call. I'm going to do a big onboarding. I've got a few things to process, but this evening we're going to have another Zoom call with people that want to join. So we'll show you how to join. We'll give you all get you how to register. But make sure if you haven't got the details already, share your details in the chat privately with me. Then I can make sure I send the invite link to you. Or join the Telegram group, so we can make sure you've got all the tools. We've got another group. We've got quite a lot of groups that we have that share a lot of information. There's a lot of calls, there's a lot of videos, a lot of webinars with a lot of people that have got a lot of information that can really help to empower you along this journey. Let me quickly go back, see if I can share that screen and show you my back.
Oh, a little bit of oil. I want the chicken. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to mute everybody out because someone seems that they're making their son and I'm getting jealous.
That's my son. He's doing the cooking while I'm listening.
He's doing the cooking? You're so lucky.
He's 13. He's got to learn at some point.
That's the right age. That's the right time.
Yeah, you can come and say hello to my group so everybody can get to see you. Come on. He's almost as tall as I am.
Hello. Hey, hello, chef.
You can't hear you.
That's okay. You're doing a great job. Keep it.
Hey, you need to get some of these stuff. I'm promoting things now.
Okay. Is that the hemp seed oil?
Oh yes.
Hemp seed oil is very good, very good for health. All right, I'm gonna mute everybody out again real quick so I can quickly take you to the back office. Okay, so let's go into here. Let's let me know if you can see the screen. Where am I sharing again? Oh, it's gone. Right. It's gone. Right, it's gone. That's such a shame. You know what? It doesn't matter. I was going to try and share the screen, but it's not allowing me to share it now because it's it was taking up too much bandwidth. But it's really simple. Like I said, guys, it's a no-brainer. If you want to have an opportunity to make more money while you sleep than you do while you're awake, this is the way to do it. This is a fantastic opportunity. It's a great gateway. As I said, people were making money even while the lockdown was going on. A lot of people lost their primary income. A lot of people are on furlough at the moment. They're not sure what the future's going to hold. But at least you've got something that's going to give you control of your finances and of your future. So take advantage of it while it's there. It's going to be here for a long time. We're soon going to be so busy that we won't have time to be doing these kind of presentations, but we will be back again in a few weeks to really get back on the series again. But we'll have a new panel with a new set of information. We'll have, you know, our regular members, Big Bob, Mark, Sophia 008, and we'll have a whole lot of new people who will be steering it. We're going to really structure it in a slightly different way, just to make sure that you guys can really have access to the information and be empowered with the knowledge that you need to take you through these challenging times. Okay, so Nadia, what are the questions? Let's go. I'm going to wrap up the conversation on the wealth side. If anybody has any more issues or any more questions, you can put them in the chat. You can message me directly. You've got my details, or join the group. Telegram. It's Healing Rooms. Download Telegram to your phone. Telegram Messenger. You can get to see all the previous chat before you join. Unlike WhatsApp, you only get to see what was posted after you join. With Telegram, you can see everything that's been posted before you join. So download and search for Healing Rooms, Cutting Edge Natural Healing, and we'll see you in there. But let's get on with the questions about health now. The juggling, SOS, the stuff that we talked about.
Just quickly before you step into the next asking about the SOS, I wanted to know, what's the worst scenario regarding is it a time that you'd never earn, or what, in regards to the trading?
Angela, if I'm honest, yeah, that's what I want to show you my account. From the time that we joined in September, nobody has ever missed a payment. Nobody has ever missed a payment. Everyone's been paid every single Saturday. And there's nearly coming up to 30,000 members. Every single Saturday, without fail, we get paid. Your Saturdays will never, ever be the same. Never be the same. Every Saturday. So the worst case scenario, the worst that's ever happened, is that the system may not have updated, and some people got a bit nervous in the early days. Like, you may have won a day, it didn't show you what your trades was for that day. But that's just due to some technical issue, whether the system was updating or there was like a lull or a blip in the computer speaking to each other. But there's been no cause for concern, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. And now I've been in about 6 or 8, 7 months now. And every one of the people that we've had in our organization, apart from little technical stuff with, setting up your Google Authenticator or setting up your digital wallet, there's been no. Okay, let me turn it another way. When we had the downturn, we were used to receiving about 2% average, 2.1%, 1.9% every day. When we had the downturn, we went down to about 0.8. The lowest was about 0. I think the lowest was about 0.8, just below 1%. That's the worst. That's the worst thing that ever happened. We earned, but we just earned less than what we were used to. But since then, it's bounced back to like 1% a day again. Now it's creeping up to like 1.2%, 1.4%. This week we had average of about 1.3, 1.4%. So over the coming weeks, it's going to go back up to about 2%, maybe even beyond 2.1, 2.2, up to the 15% a week that they've capped it at. It's interesting that they say that they capped it. That means they could actually give more, but people probably couldn't process that or compute that you could earn, beyond 15% a week. There is a little bit of bad press out there because these are people that are just enemies of progress, we call them, just haters. But none of these people are inside the business. They're all outside, thinking that there's no way that this thing could be sustained. There's no way you can give those kind of returns. These are all people that are on the outside looking in, hoping that it will crash. A lot of businesses, a lot of these type of platforms crashed during this period, but with our system, it's still going strong. We were reflective of the time because the earnings did go down a little bit, but it's still here. Like I said, it's historically been recession-proof. Forex trading always has been, because with Forex, it's not like the other market products that are affected by, these adverse market conditions. Whatever happens with the Forex industry, people are always going to spend money. If Brexit happened again tomorrow, people are still going to spend the pound. People are going to still buy the pound. They're still going to sell the pound. If it crash tomorrow, people are still going to buy the dollar. They're still going to sell the dollar. Forex is one of those industries that it's very robust. People are always going to need money. Until there's no money, we're going to keep on continue generating income.
And how quickly would you say, if I put 250 in, I would generate to £1,000? About a month or 2, 3?
No. If you're putting the minimum, expect to the maximum, you've got to be realistic. You're putting in 250, which is $300. You're putting in the smallest amount, so it's going to take you a lot longer. On average, on the 2%, we were generally people were doubling their money within about 4 months when it was at 2%. When it dropped down, it took about, I did maybe another 2 months to make it up to 6 months. But, you know, the more you put in, the quicker you grow. On top of that, if you decided you wanted to share it, your money will grow even faster. That's why when you start to share it with people, they increase your contract size to doubling from two times your money to 4 times your money, because you're going to be having additional income coming in from the commissions from people joining. So it's up to you. You can make it grow as quickly or as slowly as you like.
See. Okay then. Thanks. Thanks.
Nadia.
Hi.
Okay.
Are we back on the health questions? Or?
We're back on the health questions now. So guys, as I said, just to wrap up, if you have any additional queries, please join the Telegram group, Healing Rooms. Join the Telegram group on the Healing Rooms on the platform. You can join up for free at the moment because it's open. We will be closing it very soon, so you have to be a members only group. But once you come in there, we could then get information on how you can join. I can get involved, or you've got my number. You can always text me. Somebody else. Esther, you got on. Okay, great. You want to a link to sign up? You've got the details from the chat. Feel free to message me privately or message the person that invited you onto the call, so you can make sure you've got access to the platform. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Got a question from Brian. He asks, if you've had COVID and you become well again with no symptoms, how do you know whether or not you are a carrier of the virus without being tested?
Everyone's got virus. I don't believe in that whole nonsense that they're saying about the whole virus. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe in the virus. I think the virus is just a smokescreen to let everyone believe that there is something out there that's killing you that you need to be vaccinated against. I actually don't really believe, as much as that might sound crazy, I believe that they've turned on these satellites to really get the whole body being cooked. And I believe that once they turn it off, cases will start to go down, or cases of sickness in general will start to go down, because they already told you to look out for coughing, respiratory issues, as if to say that's related to the virus. But they didn't tell you about all the other stuff like loss of sense of smell or taste. It's because your body's lacking in zinc, because your body's full of a lot of, it's an immune response. The body's full of a lot of zinc. Whatever was attacking the body, it took a lot of zinc for the immune system to try and bring your body back into balance. They don't tell you about the headaches as symptoms. They don't tell you about the skin problems. They don't tell you about the muscle problems. So you think that these are removed from the whole COVID so-called virus. So, but a lot of people were experiencing this during that whole period. But now, as you said, they've kind of semi-lifting the lockdown. They're trying to say, you know, things a little bit more under control. They've turned off the heat, so to speak. So a lot of the other symptoms that people are experiencing are regressing. However, I don't think you're safe. I think you're still not safe. You still need to make sure you keep your whole immune system in check. Keep your whole of your diet and your lifestyle in check. Make sure you're taking the supplements. Make sure you're detoxing your body. Make sure you're drinking your water, regardless of whether they say there's COVID out there or not. In relation to, you know, being symptom-free, your body is made up of bacteria and viruses. If you kill all the bacteria, you kill all the viruses, you will simply die. We need to have bacteria and viruses, because that's these bacteria and viruses, they're meant to live in our body symbiotically, because they all serve a purpose. Sometimes people have cancer and they get like a virus that will cause the body to heat itself up. And when the body heats itself up so high, not only does it kill the virus, it also kills the cancer. They call it spontaneous healing. So there's certain things that immune does that it needs viruses to trigger these actions within the body. So viruses and bacteria are not necessarily only purely a bad thing. It's only when they get to multiply out of control that your body mounts an immune response and starts to produce antibodies. And the body is more than capable of doing that by itself. That's why I wouldn't worry about the virus. Just like when someone has a flu, they can have a flu and you can sit next to them, they'll be coughing all day. You will not catch the flu. If your immune system is in check, you will not catch the flu. So when they tell you, this virus is airborne and spreading, if that was the case, everyone that had HIV, they could just cough onto a table and the whole world can catch HIV. That's just my personal opinion. I don't believe that it's I'm just saying to you, Brian, don't worrying about symptoms. Don't let that stuff get into your psyche or your subconscious. Keep your body healthy. No matter what is out there, your body will have the ability to fight it off. Next question.
Yes.
Sorry, I think what I was more concerned about was that even though I feel well within myself, you know, I wouldn't want to be walking around unknowingly and say passing it on to, I don't know, my daughters or my mother or people that I'm around.
Yeah, and that's all part of it. So what you do is make that you keep yourself healthy. You've got your lungs clear. You've got your respirator. You've got your oxygen flush. Keep your body well detoxed. Keep yourself well hydrated. Get yourself some juggling. Boost up your blood. Get your family to do the same thing. Get the right things into your body so that you know that whatever comes, your body can do with it. Your lungs are so clear now. You're one of those people that will say, they said majority of the people will only get something like flu-like symptoms. There's only a very few small, minute amount that will have anything worse than that. So just that's why we say don't be like fire brigade reacting after the fire started. Let's be active and be preventive to make sure we can keep our body in good health at all times, not just during when there's a pandemic, a so-called pandemic or scandemic. Let's make sure we keep ourselves healthy. So when these times come, because it comes on you very unawares, you don't fall out, you know, like a rabbit in the headlights. Make sure you're always up to speed by doing the things that you now know to make sure that when these situations do arise, you're already quite well insulated against it. You might have to the top. Yeah. Next question.
Hi. So Ali said, did anyone hear about the Italians doing autopsies on COVID-19 victims? They discovered that people were suffering and dying from thrombosis. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, you got to be careful what you hear in the news, and especially from social media, because as well as them, you know, people posting out a lot of nonsense. Some of the government and not the government, but you know, the official information systems are also responsible for putting out misinformation just to feed into the confusion. Because once you're in a state of confusion, you can't make any kind of clear, rational decisions. Yes, there's always an element of truth in these things. That yes, bacteria is, you know, it is a contributory factor. Thrombosis being that there's blood clots, they're finding blood clots in the people's systems. But again, just like we say, the approach to keeping your body healthy is don't just take one medicine or think you can take one tablet or one capsule or one product and that's going to deal with your whole body like a silver bullet. In the same way, when they try to say that this one single condition was responsible for all those reactions within the body, it's not true, because the body has an immune system and a very complex capability to address any kind of adverse situations in the body. So if it's purely bacterial, like what they're saying in Italy, they could have easily treated with antibiotics, or the body's immune system would have reacted to those bacteria and started to trigger antibodies to that bacteria. It's easy for the body to do with bacteria, sometimes just as easy as to do with viruses. But because we believe that there was a lot more involved, I don't think it's as simple as that they can say it was a bacteria. So now people start thinking, okay, it was just a bacteria and it caused blood clots. No, I'm saying when you have those information, question it, take it in, don't just dismiss it. Say, yes, there is an element of bacteria, there is an element of infection going on, because the immune system was definitely overwhelmed by whatever came in. It did overwhelm the immune system to the point where the person could no longer sustain life. So I don't think it's just any one thing. So what you want to do, when you get information, is you're going to look at, what am I going to do with this information? How am I going to use it? How is it going to benefit me? How am I going to go forward being more empowered? If somebody gives you something and you bring it to us like you bring it to us now, we'll tell you, yes, let's just say it was bacteria. The first thing you're going to need to do is to strengthen your immune system. Take the things that you know are natural materials, which would be number one, probiotics. Make sure you've got a good supply of probiotics available on hand. Take your oxyflush to keep your colon cleansed, so you can make sure you keep your gut flora in balance. Because if you've got too many bad bacteria in your gut, that's going to lead to overrun, it could lead to infection. It could also lead to parasites and start having make you have cravings. You start having craving for sugar. Use the Joblin, use the SOS, use products that you know are going to help to strengthen your gut, to keep your bacterial colonies in balance, because you need to have a good flora of good and bad bacteria. So there's things that we advise and we recommend that when you get information like this, you can put it into context to say, yes, if there was bacteria, okay, fine. There was a lot of bacteria, they found bacteria in there. There may be some truth in that. I'm going to make sure that my body's bacterial flora is kept in balance. And on top of that, I'm going to make sure my immune system is very well strengthened. That's how I'd use that information, as opposed to, do you believe that that's the real cause behind the coronavirus or COVID? I don't believe that coronavirus was what they said it was, because we see coronavirus every day. It's a very low-level virus. So that's how I would like to deal with that information that you've received from Italy.
Okay, Angela's asked, what's Mark's website so she can access the testimonials?
SOS Essentials. SOS Essentials.
Okay, and does Jobeline help with weight loss? And she's also asked the same thing of SOS.
Bimbo?
Wait, I get a lot of some clients who come up and ask about weight loss for when you use Jobeline, or because I say the word control the imbalance. Weight loss, I tell people, is about what you take in and how much you put out. So there is no magic bullet. I'm a proponent of saying there is no one magic bullet for weight loss. All those things people sell that you take this, it will burn fat. Nah. Look at it this way. You eat 3 times or 4 times daily. And if you don't find a way to get it out by exercising, it will stay there and it will keep piling up. So what I tell a lot of people to do is lifestyle change. Find a way to get up, even if it's brisk walking around your environment, be it skipping. There are non-impact exercises you could do if you've got issues with your knees and getting tired, and probably eat smaller portions. It's a lot difficult, but you need all these nutritionists and exercise experts to help you. There is no weight loss magic, and Jobeline will not necessarily help you do that. But what we'll try and tell you to do is just have a lifestyle change. Eat little portions. Even if you eat as much as like I do, I work out as much as I eat. In must be equals to out, plus a little bit of extra to have a wonderful body system.
Yes, very, very true, very true. And one of the things that we find, we weight loss happens very easily. I mean, it's almost like a side effect of doing our programs, our lifestyle change program, is because we incorporate all the things that Bimbo just said. But we have a special protocol called the HERN protocol, which is HERN. H is for hydration. We're going to increase the hydration because we've got to be keeping your system flushed out. You've got to keep the nutrients moving and the waste moving as well. Keep the nutrients going into the cell and the waste coming out of the cell. So you need water for all those processes. E for elimination. You've got to keep the elimination pathways open. Your liver, your kidney, your bowels, your armpits, your skin. These are how the body releases toxins. That's why we don't agree with people having masks, because your body, one of the ways the body detoxes is through breathing out carbon dioxide. You breathe out toxins. Every time you breathe in, oxygen goes in. It processes, kills off all the bacteria, and you breathe out the carbon dioxide. So when you've got these masks on your face, you're stopping your body from releasing toxins that are going to be re-ingested. That's going to make your body become more toxic. It makes you more vulnerable, and it overloads your immune system. Rest, R is for rest. HERN, H for hydration, E for elimination, R for rest. Make sure you get enough sleep. Your body burns a lot of fat and it does a lot of repair work overnight. And N for nutrition. Make sure you got the right nutrition in your body. So when you do our lifestyle change programs, you use a combination of products. You can use the Oxyflush. We have Elixir of Life that helps get rid of cravings. It helps to get rid of parasites. Helps you stop having those nasty cravings for sugar, especially. Elixir of Life is doing that, killing off the parasite, but it also helps to grow your hair because it's very rich in silica. It helps to boost your skin. Helps to repair your joints because of the collagen element in it. When you combine these products as a program, and you take them all with 500 ml of water, you incorporate some Jobeline, incorporate some SOS, you know, you have a very, very powerful assembly of tools going into your body that's going to break down a lot of the toxic residue that's built up in your system. Couple that with a lot of water and all your bowels and release all the toxins, naturally your body's going to lose weight. You know why? Because most of the time that when people have weight problems, you've got to ask the question, why is your body holding on to weight? Why is your body holding on to fat? And oftentimes we find, Sophia will bear witness to this, that when people are in that stress mode, where the body's under stress, it's because the body's got so many toxins that have accumulated in the system. The body's immune's natural reaction is to protect the vital organs, the liver, the kidney, the heart, the lungs. And how it protects those organs is by surrounding them with fat. It says, I'm not going to let go of this fat until you get rid of those toxins. When you start to get rid of those toxins, get rid of those bacteria, get rid of those viruses that are overloading my system, it will then start to let go of the fat automatically. You haven't got to tell it to do it. It does it automatically. That's why weight loss is a side effect. Sophia?
Yeah, that's about it. The thing is, and just highlighting it, this toxin is stored in the fat. You know, the danger is in the fat. It's its way of going, right, I'm going to package this safely so that it doesn't get into the blood and it doesn't get to the brain and to get to those organs. So it's the body. I've given clients this example before. Your body's not going to believe you just because you start drinking water today or tomorrow. But once you start doing that consistently, and you're getting rid of your waste consistently, your body will go, right, okay, so if I were to release this toxin, I won't poison myself. And so it will do it. So it is, so exactly what you said, going through the process, a full process where you are eliminating the waste, you're hydrating well, you're moving your body to get those toxins out. And then it just happens.
Just happens. Fine. You know what I'm gonna do? So we're gonna do a healing rooms, a summit, just purely around weight loss, natural ways for people to lose weight without taking doing any kind of diet. Yeah, we'll do that in the new series. We'll do a weight loss summit just on purely weight loss and using the products that we have and the tools that we have at our disposal. We'll do a weight loss summit just on weight loss, so people know how easy it is to lose weight once your body's in the right environment. Okay, next question. We're going to start wrapping up now. We've got about another 3 minutes, but we've gone way over the time.
Okay. Angela asks, actually it's King. King asks, does jubbling come from Africa or the Caribbean? And Monica asks, can jubbling be purchased in India?
Hey!
Okay, jubbling is a
30 seconds, Bimbo. 30 seconds answer.
Okay, it's a West African product. It's an African product. It's made. There's a particular region in West Africa called the Savannah Belt, where that's the only part that it's grown. So what we do is that we've got contract farmers in Sokoto, that's the northern part of Nigeria, in Ghana, and we're starting to extend to Ivory Coast and Mali. For the person that wanted to know whether we could send it to India, I will find a way, get in touch with Aaron, we'll find a way to ship some to you. We can only do that via maybe UPS or USPS or from Royal Mail, but we can always get it to anywhere in the world. I got a call from somebody from Australia yesterday who wanted to get jubbling, and he came in via Facebook. So we're expanding very well. We actually even started regulatory submissions for Canada last week, so we're starting to expand worldwide.
Fantastic, thank you.
King can't find it on the website, jubbling. He can't find it on the go-tos.
Yeah, if you click on shop, when you go to Go Juice Detox, click on shop, and as you go to shop, you'll see it on the front page. I think it's on the bestsellers. It's in there with the bestsellers. If not, just go on. When you click on shop, just type, do the search in catalog, just type J for jubbling, and it'll come up.
Can you suggest a good probiotic?
We do a live probiotic. I mean, any probiotic is good, to be honest, but you want to get high doses of it into your system. We do a live probiotic, which is a liquid form, where all the bacteria are live. They're actually live bacteria, so as they go in the system, they start working straight away. You can actually feel the impact of them almost immediately. Again, it's on the website. It's called Live Probiotic. We have a strain that's got echinacea in it, which is like an immune boosting one. We've got one that helps with hormones. We've got different types of live probiotics, but they're all liquid, because we find that when you take things liquid, if people got problems with their stomach, it's going to be very hard for them to absorb them. So we tend to do most of our products in liquid form because it's a lot easier to get it into the blood. Next question.
Okay. How frequently do you have to cleanse the colon?
We recommend doing a detox. In this current climate, we used to say do a cleanse every 2 to 3 months. But now, with the amount of GMO food, the amount of toxins in the air, the toxins in the water, the depleted soil, your body's taking in toxins at a much more accelerated rate. So I tend to detox. I'm doing a detox now. As you can see my nose, because I'm bringing out all the mucus. I tend to recommend doing an ongoing detox, even if it's on a low level, because you're taking food every day. You wash the outside of your body every day. What about the inside? The inside is more cleaner than the outside. We wash our face every day, but what do we do for our colon? What do we do for our blood? So we want to be doing some kind of small, low-level detoxing, really ongoing. You haven't got to do it as a whole. Let me spend 3 weeks doing a big program. Just have a little bit of something every day. Do oxyflush, you know, for 3 days a week. Do something to cleanse your blood, something to cleanse your liver, something to cleanse your kidney. Have some kind of small, low-level detoxification process on a daily basis. That way you can ensure long-term health. Go back to getting the herbs in. Drink your soursop leaves. Drink your guinea hen weed. Get the bushes into your system. Get the plants in your system. We have a product called Menovate. It's an essential oil-based product. You rub it on to your wrists and your temples. We designed it to help people with stress, to help them to sleep. One of the side effects we found was that it was getting rid of hot flushes. People come back and say, oh, I'm sleeping amazing, but I used to wake up 4 or 5 times, kicking the blankets off, but they're no longer doing it. This is a side effect of having those plants going into the system. But what we found, another key benefit was that when you have the Menovate, it's enabling you to get some high quality plants into your system every single day. I use Menovate every day. Why? Because I'm getting plants into my system. I'm getting the botanicals, I'm getting the natural elements and vitamins and nutrients and minerals from the plants into my bloodstream every single day. So the more plants you can get into your body is the quicker your body can go from a state of disease into a state of health. So the more plant-based food you can get into your diet, the more raw juices, you know, smoothies. These are things that are all part of the detoxification process that you can do on a regular basis, but you've got to be doing it consistently.
One of the things I'd add to that is when you're on a program, you're going to be fasting as an integral part of that. And what we teach people to do is intermittent fast. We don't give it a title at the beginning because you're just doing what we tell you to do. And then as we go on, this is classed as intermittent fasting. But the idea is that every day or for a certain amount of days per week, you are only eating within a particular window. So your body will start to burn fat after has to digest any food for about 12 hours. So once I've gone beyond 12 hours of not eating anything, then my body goes into a state of being able to cleanse the body better. If I do that every day, I'm actually putting myself into a state of detox every day. I'm going to rest my digestion system. You know, Bro said, eat a bit less. And so I would say, yeah, eat a bit less, but think about eating within a particular window. So you give your stomach some time every day where it gets to rest. Most people never get to 12 hours where they've not eaten something. You go to bed late, so you might eat something at 12, 1 o'clock, you wake up, you eat something. So your body's never got a time where it doesn't have to digest food, so it doesn't ever get a rest. And it's one of the reasons the programs are so effective as well, because we are introducing this habit of eating within a set window. Obviously, you're also juicing and you're also drinking lots of water, but you're resting your digestion. And on the programs as well, you're also eating foods that are really easy to digest. So there's the plant-based foods and soups and salads and things that are easy to digest. So don't just think detox as if it's a separate title. A part of your life can just be detoxing by eating foods that are easy to digest, by giving your body less food to have to eat, and eating within windows so your body every day, or at least a number of days per week, hasn't got all this extra work to do. Because digesting food, nobody taught us how much energy it takes to digest food. And our bodies use a tremendous amount of our energy digesting food, where it could be using that to repair, to recover, to heal.
Absolutely. I couldn't put it better myself. That's why I like working with Sophia, because she puts everything so nice. I want to tell you straight, you only have 1 meal a day. That's what she's saying. We're saying 1 meal a day. You don't need more than 1 meal. She said eat between a specific time. We're saying 1 meal a day. That's what that means. 1 meal. That means just one solid meal a day, really. But you're still eating, but you're just not chewing, because you're having a lot of food in liquid form, because you're resting your digestive system. As she said, you're not putting anything through it. That means it's allowed it to repair. It's allowed it to absorb nutrients. It's allowed it to break down toxins. It's allowed it to release toxins. Because if it's constantly bombarded with food 3 times a day, I don't know who invented that whole 3 meals a day. Nonsense. It's the worst thing you can ever do to the body.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you put food in. The afternoon, food. Evening, food. Where's the body rest? pure food all day. And you wonder why we get sick. So we stop people poisoning their body with food and allow their body to rest and get some rejuvenation, get some hydration, get some nutrition, and the body just goes into spontaneous healing. Diabetes, we get rid of diabetes within 2 weeks.
Somebody just asked a question about being slim already, and I'm with you. It takes me a hell of a long time to put back on any weight once I've done a deep cleanse. But at the same time, a deep cleanse is because I live in a toxic environment. If I lived in somewhere in the other hemisphere of the world, I might not have to detox as often, but I live in a toxic environment, so I do need to detox, and I do lose some weight. The things around intermittent fasting is it makes it easier because you can still eat. You're still eating within that window. You're eating things that are easier to digest. So for example, I will generally start eating about 12 or 1, and then finish eating by 8 at the latest. And then if I'm not doing anything particular, I can eat within those windows. I'm eating things that are easy to digest, and I can eat within there. I've still got 16 hours where my body's not eating anything.
Yes.
So that's the easy way to do it. I think Basil talked about fasting for 3 days a month, perhaps, and any fasting is going to be good for the body, especially when you're hydrating through it. But why we talk about the intermittent fasting is because it's an easier way to get in. It's just cutting the hours. You know, just doing that one thing alone will, by resting your gut, will give you tremendous health benefits. Just that alone. So
absolutely. We're going to cover that in more detail in the weight loss seminar.
If that's okay.
Say again?
I have a quick input if that's okay.
Go ahead.
I eat quite healthily, you see. I do fast, and I do pray a lot also. What I find, because I take a lot of fruit and veg, normally when I wake up in the morning, I don't really eat much, to be fair. If I even do, it's sort of like a green juice first thing, yeah, with all your greens, your broccoli, whatever, just blend them up and just drink them like that, yeah. And obviously me taking the Joblin and all these other things, I find it really, really helps. I've lost so much weight. I'm going to be 40 soon and I might not look it, but there you go. That's the evidence there. And with 3 children, by the way. So, what I find as well, eating a lot of green bananas, does help with the weight side of things. So if you eat a lot of green bananas, and that does help with losing, keeping the weight down. A lot of exercise. You don't have to do some robust exercise. I hate the gym in particularly, but I do a lot of walking, and I move around a lot, and that does seem to help. And like you say, hydration is the key. You know, you drink plenty of water. You watch what you eat. You need to watch what you eat. You need to let the meat go. A lot of meat eaters out there who love their meat, get away from that. Try to go on the healthy side of things, and you will reap the benefits.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Appreciate that. Absolutely, and you're spot on. I see, Bimbo punching the fist there, because he's all about advocating for the non-meat. Don't eat those dead animals. But
for some reason, I've even stopped eating meat. I'm a chicken person right now.
Yes, we're pescatarians over here, so we only do fish. We'll become vegan very soon. So yes, those are all very valid points. It's very important that you recognize that these things are linked to your diet, whether you're trying to lose weight or put on weight. It's all down to how well your body can absorb the food. But if your digestive system is not working, you're not going to be able to put on weight, and you're also not going to be able to lose weight, because everything starts and ends in the gut. So, Nadia, I think we're going to have to take the last question. We're going to have some...
Okay. Okay, what is the daily requirement of vitamin D supplements?
We'll give you that on. But we generally say if you, with the one that we have, because ours is a natural vitamin D, it's actually in the it's in sunflower oil, or one of the oils. A teaspoon, half a teaspoon a day is more than enough, because it's a very high dose. It's a very high dose. It's more than sufficient. But we'll have that available on the site. I think by tomorrow or Tuesday latest, it'll be available on the site, on the website gojuicedetox.com. Then click on shop. Make sure you click on shop, because there used to be a shop on the actual platform. Well, there sometimes it goes missing. The orders go missing. So if you go click on shop, that's the official site, or vivonutrients.com. Remember, again, you can get all this information via the Telegram group. I've seen quite a lot of people been joining the group, which is very good, excellent. It's Telegram. Download Telegram Messenger onto your phone. Register as you would with WhatsApp. Forget about WhatsApp. It's old school. The new communication messenger system is Telegram. You can see all the old messages. You can have up to 2,000 members in the group. You'll have access to all the things we spoke about today. You'll have access to the podcast. You'll have access to the video before anyone else gets it. Everything is done exclusively in the group. You download Telegram and just search for Healing Rooms, Cutting Edge.
Excuse me, sorry to cut you there again, but is it Telegram? Is it Telegram Talk or what? Because I thought it's a messenger.
Yes.
Okay.
Telegram Messenger. Download Telegram Messenger. Search for the Healing Rooms, HEALING rooms, and it has cutting edge natural healing. You'll be able to get information about Joblin, information about SOS. You can get access to the studies. Joblin's got quite a few studies. When you go to the website, you can click on the links. There's links to the studies that tell you about what's done for anemia, what's been done or what's been proven with regards to neurological issues, inflammation, and quite a few areas that Joblin's been able to impact. You'll see them from the studies that have been conducted to verify, and they're all peer reviewed as well. So they're well respected within the medical community and the natural health community, of course. Sophia, any last points before we wrap up today?
Someone just asked about if tap water's okay to drink, which is not okay to drink. There's different ways for you to tackle it depending on what your budget is. But tap water is going to be full of the metals that we don't want to be ingesting, hormones,
viruses,
chemicals.
Bacteria,
Right.
antibiotics.
So it's not a good idea. Depending on budget, you're going to be, I think probably the cheapest option initially is a water distiller that you can distill in your home, so you know that the water's clean. It won't have any minerals in there, so you need to make sure you're eating well. Like I will add lemons, limes, cucumbers, the like with my water, so that I'm making sure my minerals are up, and eating sufficiently so that you've got your minerals that you may be missing from the water. Aaron has water that he sells as well. That is the purest form, and then Cocoon water is an additional option. So a very good water filter or distiller for at home, and the one that I can say that I've tested myself is the Berkey water filter. You can put water from a river in there and it will filter it thoroughly. So either a water distiller or a very good quality filter, and do ask us more information in the Telegram group if you want, but do not just select any filter, because lots of them are not going to be taking the things out of the water that you need to be taken out.
Absolutely. And share your website as well, Sophia, because obviously people are going to want the kit as well. People want the kit to DIY their house. They'll be available on your website soon. Share your website where people can get more details on some of the things you mentioned as well.
Will do.
Oh, you're going to share it in the chat. Okay, excellent. Yes, so in wrapping up, in closing, we're going to thank you guys for being faithful in joining us every Sunday. Obviously, this is our last one, so we went on a bit longer than originally. It was supposed to be 2 hours, but we've got to 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you guys have done extremely well by giving up that amount of time on a Sunday afternoon. We're very, very thankful and very, very grateful for you to do that. We'll let you know that it's the last one we're doing for now. It's the end of the series of the Healing Rooms Online Natural Health Summit. We will be back again in the summer. We're going to restructure. We're going to get some different elements added in. We're going to be coming back very soon again with myself, Sophia, and a few other panel members, Bimbo. And we're going to do a weight loss special, just on weight loss, just around weight loss. We might do a short series just around weight loss and natural ways that you can get rid of toxins from the body. So we can do with weight loss and detoxing. We're also going to have obviously a lot more information around the wealth creation and the finance side. For those who want to take advantage, I've had quite a few people text me already. If you want to take advantage of the wealth creation system, please do download Telegram Messenger and join the Healing Rooms Cutting Edge Natural Health Education. And alternatively, you can use my number. You can sign up via the number. I'm going to type the number in the chat once again. Sophia, if you can type the number in there for those who've not been able to access the information. Failing that, if you want to take part in the wealth creation system, simply get back to the person who invited you. If it wasn't me that invited you, get back to the person that did. I'm just trying to multitask. I'm not very good at it, am I? Anyway, but yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, use the number in the chat. We're going to be posting the podcast and the YouTube video of this one very soon. The podcast will be available today. It'll be available in the Telegram group for you to download and consume, or review, share with the other people you want to share it with. And yeah, thank you once again. Thank you to our panel. Thank you, Sophia, your dedication in terms of making yourself available and the time you spent and the powerful information you've imparted and shared. Thank you, Bimbo, so much for giving up the time to come and share the amazing and powerful things that Joblin is able to do, and for making sure that we've got a good stock of supply on the ground for us. We've got about 30 cases now. So guys, if you want to get your Joblin, get your orders in now. It does tend to sell out very quickly. People that got anemia, people that got family members with sickle cell, people that got neurological, people that got strokes. It's very good to help deal with the blood. People that had strokes, they've seen some very good results. There's been some very good anecdotal testimonies for people with strokes, and they've made remarkable recoveries. And when you add in things like the brain juice, the SOS, and some of the other products in our arsenal, which you'll find on our website, you'll find that people are able to make miraculous, remarkable recoveries. Obviously, we've got Basil, who's been very helpful and supportive, and all the people that have been joining us every week. I want to just, extend my thanks to you for, being loyal and sharing information with other people. We're most grateful for you doing that. Samantha, Monica, we see you every week. Nadia, thank you so much, Nadia, for being our moderator, fielding all the questions, keeping it very organized and structured, and make sure that people's burning questions get answered. These things couldn't happen without you guys, so I'm very, very grateful. So I wanted to make sure we took a couple minutes to thank you and to celebrate you. I know that Bimbo's promised you a Joblin. I'll make sure that
it's been shipped out tomorrow.
Okay. There you go.
Hi, Erin.
Yes,
Erin, what is your brain juice? Is it Brain Booster?
No, it's brain juice. It's brain boost.
What is that? What does it do?
We have two specially formulated products that help increase the blood flow to the brain. The brain juice is the adult version that really helps to increase blood flow to the brain, helps improve your memory, helps improve your cognitive function, helps increase your energy, helps boost your immune system, helps you to manage your adrenals, helps you to manage stress. You become more attentive, you become more able to concentrate, focus on your work a lot better. That's the adult version, that's called the brain juice. We have the child version, which is the brain and nerve support. We've been getting some amazing results from children and from teachers. The teachers actually call the school because it's the brain and nerve support, which is a formulation that we kind of use some of the combinations from Dr. Sebi that we kind of modify to add our own elements to. And it's been very, very effective at impacting children, especially children with ADHD. It helped them to improve their concentration. Teachers have actually called the parents got worried thinking, oh, what's my son done? The school said, no, we just wanted to take the work has greatly improved, or their concentration has skyrocketed. There have been some really phenomenal results from children from age as young as 7 up to 16. That's the brain and nerve support. But the brain juice is a very powerful product. We've had good results, people with Alzheimer's, with dementia, any kind of brain-related issues, neuropathy. We've had some very positive results using the brain juice. Anyway, this is not a platform for us to be pushing products. We wanted to read because you've asked. I always have to try and answer the question. But yeah,
but does it like have like ginkgo and gold in it? Like
it hasn't got gold, but it has ginkgo. It has ashwagandha. It has gotu kola.
Okay.
A lot of herbs that are renowned for their ability to increase the blood flow to the brain.
Got ya. Cool.
Yeah, so there's also got some other products that really help that have got energy in them. Some frequency products that help to increase the frequencies and the vibrations of the brain cells.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for a great show, yeah?
Thank you very much, Andrew. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Sure.
Okay, so that's people calling me now. That's my dinner time's ready. But yes, like I said, don't forget the conversation.
I think you need to check your message. You've got a message there from me, love.
Okay.
All right, lovely. I need a reply. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Sherry, for joining us, Sherry, as well. Thank you, all those that come and join.
Thank you all.
Sunday. Thanks, McLean. So we're going to wrap up now, guys. So if you want to take time to look at anything in the chat, Thank you once again, Basil. Feel free to do that. We're gonna leave the chat on for about another 2 minutes. But I said it's been emotional, guys. So thank you.
Bless up, man. Thank you very much. Bless up.
You're welcome, Neil.
Thanks a lot.
God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron,
See you later,
and
dear.
bringing all these wonderful leaders together. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks
Brian.
for
Thanks so
Melanie.
much, Brian.
Yes.
Enjoy your dinner.
All right, bye all.
Sophia and Bola. Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Right, I think.
Bye, Basil. Thanks, Dr. Basil.
Norma's gone.
Thanks, Aaron.
Hey, Rita. Thank you, dear. God bless you.
God bless you too. Bye.
Thanks, Sherry. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, June. We'll see you soon.
No, I think she's gone. I think she's gone. There she goes. Okay, thanks, Aaron. Bye.
Thanks, Chelsea. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. You can leave
Aaron?
Yes, dear.
Yeah, I find that when I'm
Bye.
looking for the Telegram messenger, it's coming up with talk and something else. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
you want the Telegram Messenger. This Telegram Messenger, it's Telegram Messenger, just like WhatsApp. It's got a blue symbol. I'll email it to you. I'll send you the link. I'll share the link with you.
Yeah, please do. Thank you.
Hey, Kemi. Thanks
And
for joining,
have
Kemi.
And have a good evening. Enjoy your meal.
Oh, we'll do. Finally.
Bye.
Bye-bye. God bless
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Thanks again, Nadia. Hey, King. Thanks very much for joining us. That King Lion. Wow. Well blessed, King Lion. The great herbalist himself. What a blessing. Did you raise your hand? Did you raise your hand on, King, did you raise your hand on purpose? No, his hand. Mercy. Okay, Mercy is here as well. Fantastic. I'll start seeing everybody now. Wow. Cool. Bimbo, you're amazing. Sophia, you guys are something else. Nadia, wow. What a team. Thank you so much.
Great work, Aaron. Great work.
Great work indeed. Thank you so much.
008.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing?
All good, man. All good.
You were on a mission last week for Queen and Country.
Queen and Country. Who's to accept?
Well, the country part. I don't know about the Queen, but definitely the country.
No. You don't want that old lady to see or hear you just say that. You might be decommissioned.
Yeah, the decommission me, right? thankfully, I'm authorized by a higher authority.
Exactly.
And see how they decommissioned Harry. Harry is now 001.
001.
Right down.
I tell you.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Take care, everyone.
Support your immune system and support Arsenal too.
Ah! Why did I let him stay on? No!
I have to agree.
Ah, Liverpool.
Oh, Nads, you're not on that same thing, are you?
Are you agreeing now? Ah, Nads, man. Ah, you doing so well.
King of London. All right, bye.
I'm going to officially end it now. That's too much. God bless you guys.
See you guys.
See you later, so.